What's up, guys? It's Jolas, and this is our very first episode for our podcast. I have my wife and the girly pops here.
So hi, my name is Jessica.
I'm Jelena.
And that's Kyra for those who don't know. But
Hello.
if you're on here, y'all should probably know that. Anyways, getting to what we're talking about today. So we're going to be discussing relationships. All the flags being red, green, beige, and just all the ups and downs that go with it. So how we're going to start this off is that Kyra is going to read off a list of red flags that she found online, and then from there, we're all going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 and tell each other why we believe that. So let's get started.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Are y'all ready?
Yes, girls.
Okay, come on. Okay.
So I just looked up an article. It says it's from calm.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your sources.
10 biggest red flags in relationships and what to do about them.
Ooh, what to do?
What to do?
Oh, I can talk about that too. Oh.
Should we say like the red flag first and then like do what to do
Yes.
as well?
We could read it first and then go
and
with
then
it.
like do we agree with the same and not like how you deal with it?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Okay.
Yes. We love the clarity.
Number 1, they exhibit controlling behavior.
Oh.
See, I like it to an extent because if he's like, okay, get ready on Friday, we're gonna go on a date, dress nice, I like that. But if they're like, oh no, you can't hang out with this person because of this, I don't like that. It depends on the tone and intent.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends, but controlling all caps, it's like that's a 10 for me. I can't. I need freedom.
A 10. Exhibit controlling behavior. I'm gonna have to give that like a good 7.5 to an 8. Yeah. I mean, I had my fair share of that. So like I've been in the, let's say, controlling side, but not to that extent, where like you said is like, oh, you can't hang out with these people unless they actually, those people give you like a valid reason of why you can't hang out with them. Right.
I think for me, I would also say a 7.5 and an 8. Because to an extent, like Kyra said, you do need a bit of control, but that's on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Both sides need control. That's very important. But I also think that with control, if it becomes uneven, like if there's a power imbalance, in a way, people tend to lose themselves a lot. And, it just causes a spiral that's really unnecessary. And if you don't have the people to, like, get you out of that too, a whole other set of problems. It's, like, it's a lot, to say the least.
Yeah, I think I agree with Jess here because for me it's like an 8 or 9, 8.5 because I like being dominant, but in a way, girl. You know this. You know
You like dominance.
Yes. Anyways, I like it because like for me that's kind of hot, you know.
Yeah. It is.
like you said, like
Like, put on your clothes.
No, that's icky. The thing is like, oh, go put on your clothes, make sure you look pretty. Like, I'm gonna take you out on a date, and like just like be in control of what you're doing. Just lead me, you know. But into a point where you're like, where are you going? What are you doing? Like every single second of my life, you're like that person is just so controlling of it. I just can't breathe.
I see.
Yeah.
I feel like with control, as long as they're like in a way holding you accountable for things that you need to get done, I think that's like a healthier way of controlling someone. But
Yeah.
if it's kind of like hindering like you feeling free in your relationship, like obviously you should be able to do what you want to do, that you enjoy, as long as it's like respectable in the relationship.
Yeah, so to keep each other in check.
Okay.
What did the comp say about like what to do with it?
It says, notice if your partner frequently puts you down, makes you feel unworthy, or undermines your confidence.
Oh.
So it could be making negative comments about your appearance, belittling your achievements, or mocking your thoughts or feelings.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Yes.
That's a lot. It's more complex than what I imagine, honestly.
Exactly.
Because I feel like putting you down, that's another thing. Because of like controlling you, but then putting you down, that's like
That's another level, bro.
that's another like in Vietnamese, because I'm Vietnamese. If you don't know, Viet rap. Anyways, so there's this word. It's like "ya chung" means like more like in the way of like what's it called when you're like man in control?
Like man of the house type thing?
Yeah, man of the house. But they have a saying like, oh, the man of the house, I'm like that strict, so I can take care of you. That's like how they say it. But in some ways, like, you know, in Vietnam, the man don't control technically everything because the woman would control the finances, the woman control the house, the man just control whatever he makes, basically. So I think that's like interesting.
Yes.
But belittling, like talking back to belittling, that's just like manipulative.
Right. Like I didn't think about it to that extent. I feel like that concept is really interesting because everyone views that as everyone has different views of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no there's no definition set in stone when it comes to like being controlled. It's like in what way?
Right. I feel like calm is being like they're taking this to the most like extent, like the serious extent of it. But we take it not like very literal.
That's true.
I see, and this can kind of sort of build like your partner a low self-esteem, so they feel like they don't deserve anything better.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
that's why they kind of like stay with that person. You know, like I feel like there's nothing else out there for me. You know,
So-
I just feel
Right.
you know the lowest.
So controlling how your partner views.
Yeah,
Dang.
it kind of changes their perspective in like relationships and like you know to kind of understand that you do deserve something better.
Right.
And I've seen this out there before. I know it happens a lot in different relationships.
Anything?
That's why like you kind of question. Sorry, that's why you kind of question like why haven't they left? Is because they really feel like they can't be with anyone else, or you know.
Yeah. Right.
You have anything else to say to that, Kyra?
What do you think about
anything to add?
Anything to add before we go to the skip point?
Control. I think I'm good. Yeah.
What is your reaction to like that like what to do?
What to do?
Like yeah, what they suggest you to do, I guess. Like you know when they said like controlling, it's like
You're asking like how should you react to that? Like
yeah,
in terms of if you're with someone that's controlling.
right.
I think that's what you're asking.
It depends how far they go.
That's true.
Yeah. So if they try to abuse you, like if they, like the article says, wait.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, what are the articles and like how
Like
they react?
dictating who you can spend time with, monitoring your activities, making decisions for you, financially abusing you.
Financial abuse. What? Dang.
Yeah.
That's seriously, yeah. That's what's his name again? In One of Them Days.
Oh,
Krishan?
yeah, we were watching one of them days, and that
One of Them
really,
Days,
You
Krishan.
guys should watch it. It's funny.
it is really good. On
You guys will
Netflix.
understand.
Watch it twice.
Okay.
One in theaters, one at home.
Let's go to our next point. Come on. What's next?
Their communication style doesn't match yours.
Oh, yeah. That is a big one. Because communication is literally, for me, I think it's one of the biggest things that you need when it comes to a relationship. Communication and trust. I think those are the
Fundamental.
biggest ones.
That's fundamental, yeah.
Because if you can't communicate what's going on, then you build our favorite word, resentment.
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 Do it. Do the
Resentment.
Resentment.
Rainbow.
Rainbow.
all the colors, you
But-
know?
So it's important. It's like if you can't communicate how you're feeling or what's going on, I feel like that causes a lot of issues in the long run. And in many ways, it can cause a lot of emotional turmoil that could have been prevented. I think I've experienced that hands on.
Yeah, we all experienced
Yeah, I
that.
feel like
Yeah.
everyone that's been in a relationship has either experienced that.
I feel like would it be like compatibility then? Because if their communication style doesn't match yours because they're just not
It
compatible.
doesn't even reach the bare minimum.
But do you feel like
Can't
that's something that
communicate.
could be worked on? So, you know,
Ooh.
like in terms of not just compatibility, but if the person is willing to work on that, you think that's something that could be fixed?
How much are you willing to compromise when it comes to that then?
And if they're not
Right.
stubborn,
Yeah,
we
they're
have
not
to be open to communication.
Right.
Yeah,
'Cause-
yeah, for sure.
Because that's been the thing is with that is like they've been communicated that way for so long. So to fix that, it have to be mutual, because they just can't. They themselves cannot just fix it for you, or you can just not do it by yourself to fix it for them, because it's one-sided.
I see. In my opinion, I feel like in terms of communication, the way they were raised plays a big role in that. I feel like if they can't really even communicate with their parents in the household per se, like maybe in a relationship, it kind of, you know,
Right.
transfer to that as well.
Right.
I think it really does also depend on, as we said earlier, like if the person's willing to work on it, because you can have communication issues, but if you're putting in the effort to do something about it,
Yeah.
then that's fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not, then what are you doing?
I think relationship is like more or less, I think more on effort. Like maybe like you're not really compatible, but you're trying, you know, to make it somehow work, so some kind of works. But then like at the end of the day, you know, like if it doesn't work out, you know, like you put all your effort into it, so you're not like regretting anything like by not putting enough effort into it.
You're not even trying.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Communication.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not only fundamental in romantic relationships, but also any kind. So, like family, friends. It could be a work relationship. It's really
Work, girl.
Yes. But it happens in every type of relationship, I would say. At least once, you know. But it could cause conflict, being misunderstood, resentment.
We love resentment.
Again.
Resentment.
Yes, we don't like resentment.
But you're right. Like I didn't think about that. Like communication, it's for every damn relationship you have out there, because it's also like you couldn't like with communicating. You don't have to talk every day.
Yeah, that's us. Ever since I got married and had a kid.
That was us. Like you don't have to talk every day, but it's like as long as you know, like
You have awareness.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. Like your awareness when it comes to it.
Yes.
Like everything's fine.
Mm.
Anything else to add, guys? Any other thoughts that we want to?
Communication.
Communication.
Do you know what your communication style is?
Oh, you word.
Oh.
Okay, you
Okay,
word.
wait. Let's go over this. So, what are the types of communication styles?
So,
Which
one, I feel like the most common is when you give hints.
Mm.
Instead of
yes.
just telling someone straightforward. I'm like that with him. I just tell him.
Yes, he is.
And if
He
I
can
do
get it.
hints, I make it really, really obvious.
That's true.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
anyone.
So if I'm like this, I'm like,
Exactly.
this means come here. Like, I just stare at him and then I look back.
Or and she's like,
Yep, she gives me that look every day.
Testing you on their toes every day, man.
No, for real, for real.
Yeah, so I think just straightforward.
But you know, my communication is like, can you just talk to me?
that
I just
more.
verbally
Oh,
say
that's
it.
you guys.
I was,
You
you
guys.
know.
When I want attention, I'm like, can you talk to me? Can I have attention now?
I think for me, damn, our communication style, I sugarcoat a lot, huh?
That's true.
Yep, she does.
Nah. Yikes, not the best.
For me, I feel like it's just straightforward.
Yeah, you are.
That's
Pretty
good.
Much.
Pretty straightforward for the most part. but
Especially
blunt. Blunt-ish.
Mm.
I would say I sugarcoat somewhat if it's not like with a friend or whatever. I feel like it's like for y'all it's gonna be blunt,
Mm-hmm.
but for like my coworker, I'm just not gonna be super blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like not everyone is about to handle that. Like they might interpret it as like, oh, like she's kind of rude, but
Mm-hmm.
that's just how you are. Like you're just straight to the point. You know?
Right.
Like I get
Right.
that.
Like,
And
no,
you
don't
sugarcoating.
wanna waste time.
Sometimes I feel like you're just too nice.
Oops. People pleaser in me. That's for another podcast.
Yeah.
Anyways. Next point, come on.
Okay. Let's see.
It's the next one.
So communication.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's
That was really good.
I mean, it is the fundamental course,
Yeah.
like type of things for a relationship.
I feel like
Friendships.
I feel like if you don't really communicate with your significant other, you can't really understand that person. Then
Word.
you know you have to be really open to them to the point you can just talk about anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it causes a lot of misunderstandings, as
Yeah.
we mentioned earlier.
A lot of people don't like confrontation.
Ooh.
Which is really important in relationships.
Confrontation.
Conversation. Yes. I think for me, I hate being confrontational, but over time, becoming an adult,
You're like, damn, I gotta do
You've gotten
this.
over it, huh?
I've gone over it. Like, if I need to get my shit, can I curse on this?
Yeah.
Okay, if I need to get my shit done, then I need to get my shit done. I don't care about whatever, because I'm wasting my time. If I'm just like keep holding myself back because I'm avoiding confrontations.
It gets uncomfortable, but it's necessary.
Right. I think I don't like doing it because, again, like, I don't want to unintentionally hurt the other people involved, but at the same time, sometimes it's necessary for the betterment of any type of relationship. You need to confront the person about how you're feeling or what's going on in order to fix whatever's going on, or else problems are just going to keep happening and happening and happening, and you're not going to go anywhere.
I feel like that aligns with communication too, confrontation, because that's just you being truthful, right? Like you're not hiding something if you have any issues with like the person you're with, and then you're letting it build up, and that's starting resentment. Yeah.
Every time we're gonna say that word, and we're gonna do resentment.
But I feel like, confronting like, you have to really trust that person enough to confront them about your feelings, right? Like, you have to be open with them. Because if you're not, then there's just going to be issues.
I mean, like, we're talking about, like, any kind of relationship, so just really friendship.
Yeah, this goes not just for, like, the person you're, like, your significant other, but, like, your friends, your family.
I mean, especially if it's your significant other, like, I would expect that you trust that person enough that, or, like, feel comfortable to, like, talk to them about something. But it's not, like, hey, like, bro, don't take it personal. This is how I feel.
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z, you know?
And I feel like a real person that understands you would talk it out with you and try to understand,
Right.
Yeah. Not kind of like, like make you feel bad about it, but more like, try to listen.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like rare to find these days, unfortunately.
The confrontational guys.
Yeah.
You can be. Like, don't... What's it called? Like, don't think that you're being rude.
Yeah, you're just being honest.
You're just being honest. Like, sometimes, like, it could come out as rude, though, you know?
It depends on your tone.
It depends.
But I think when it comes to confronting people, you also need to remember that at the end of the day, if you don't confront someone, as soon as you figure out how you're feeling or how you gauge the situation, it doesn't do any good for both people involved. And I think that's where I sit nowadays. When I'm like afraid to confront someone, it's like the more I hide this or the more I don't say anything, then it's just causing more and more and more problems for everyone involved, and it's unnecessary.
Yeah. What I usually say, it's like, if you have a problem and you don't tell me, that's your problem.
Right.
Not really mine, because I don't know about it. How am I gonna fix it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How
can you address it?
Right. How am I gonna fix it or address it if I don't know that you have a problem with me or I did something that hurt you?
And then they make you feel bad about something you weren't even aware of.
Right.
Because they didn't want to bring it up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh my
Okay,
God.
that brings me to think about this. What do you guys think of the silent treatment then? When people do
Oh,
that?
that's in the article?
The
Okay,
silent
Hey.
treatment.
Did you read it before, friend?
Everyone,
You researched this before we go on this podcast?
Oh, we're reading this.
the silent treatment.
Yeah.
It's
What do
not efficient because
It's inefficient?
it depends on the person. It could be to process your emotions,
Mm-hmm.
so you know what to say. But like when you do that, it's understandable.
Then that's
but,
like progressive then. It's not like, you're just ignoring the person.
yeah, you're literally just ignoring them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to
I
what
get it.
we were saying, I think that ties into communicating, because you could just tell this person, hey, like, I need space to think about X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
Could you give it to me? Instead of full on just being like, no. Like, shutting up.
No?
Like not hearing them out.
No.
Like, if
Oh,
No.
like no in terms of not giving them space?
yeah.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
like some people is like, oh, we want to fix this right now, but then the other person's like, oh, I need some
Yeah.
space to think about like how I'm feeling right now.
For
So
sure.
that's like,
I think that's very important.
yeah, that's like
Yeah. There's there's different people that were like willing to give them space, and there's like the ones that want to like fix it now, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if you're that person that needs space and your partner is like, let's do this
Right.
now, it's just not going to end well. Sometimes you just need that space to, have a peace of mind and just think.
Patience.
You do need patience. Because for me personally, silent treatment, I agree with what Kyra said. Like, if you need space to process your emotion, like, duh, I'm all for that, because I do need that too. Because as you guys know, I am blunt AF. So if I'm gonna say it, I'm just gonna say it. It might hurt them, and so in a way, like, I don't want to be like hurt the other person that I really care for, like when I'm addressing this issue, because it's like it's not really about them, it's how I feel. So I don't think it should make them feel bad about themselves in a lot of ways. Because words can hurt guys.
Right.
You know? Hurts a lot.
Unfortunately.
Especially with no context.
Right. That's even
No
that's,
context.
that's the worst.
Yes.
But yeah, silent treatment.
It's like, I hate you. Why? You know? Like, what you hate me? What?
Silent treatment. Very, very icky.
Mm-hmm.
Try your best not to do that. Or actually, not even try. Just don't do that.
Just communicate.
Exactly.
It's that simple. If you need space, just say you need space to think. You know?
I feel like why does all the red flags that's listed is go under all communication.
Because that's the biggest thing.
It definitely is. Yeah,
That's
I feel like
number
communication
one.
is like
That's
number
number
one in
Any relationship.
Do you think like nowadays, think back of when like you guys are like dating, when y'all first started dating, like was communication like a thing that is difficult for both of y'all? Or
I don't think so. I feel like out of all the people I've been with, we've had the best communication for sure.
It takes time.
Yeah, it definitely takes time, but we definitely had the best communication.
From an outsider view from y'all's relationship, I feel like you both are really good at just expressing how you feel whenever you guys argue. And I think we'll leave it at that.
That's all, folks.
No, I mean, when it comes to that topic.
When it comes to that topic,
Yeah.
for sure. Because communication is a long road. Because like, I just know like, communication could be just like silently communicating. You know, like you know how some people they just like communicate with their eyes.
Right, it's just like,
Oh, body language.
Body language,
Body
yes,
language is
yes,
important.
yes. So like it just depends on what type and like how seasoned you are in the relationship.
yeah.
Seasoned in the meaning of like how long have you been together?
It's like to the point you can understand your partner without even verbally expressing your feelings.
Exactly.
You can kind of just read their body language.
You still deny me.
What are you talking about?
Okay, what's the next one?
Yeah, what's the next point that this said? Let's see if it still falls under our communication umbrella.
Oh.
Oh.
Why do you make that face?
Okay, wait,
go,
wait, wait.
girl.
Cut from that to this.
Come on.
Oh.
Let's say you're in a relationship, right?
Right,
Right.
word.
How would you feel if they went to strip clubs?
Ooh, wait, how does this tie into red flag?
I mean, for me, it's red flag.
I think
Is it actually in the list?
I went to a different article.
Oh,
It's in
okay.
the list of yellow flags. To me, it's a red flag.
Oh. why
So
is it
going
yellow?
to a strip club while in a relationship?
Yes.
I don't know.
Is it a red, yellow,
Oh, red, yellow, or
green? I want to say it's a
It's
green
not-
flag.
I feel
Maybe
like,
yellow.
I think it's
yellow.
still a yellow to me because, like, when people go on their, for context, hold on, let me preface this by saying, I think when I think of a strip club, the first thing that comes to mind,
The ones in movies.
yeah, movies and like
Magic
bachelorette
Mike.
parties or like bachelor
GTA.
parties. GTA. I just think of like. It really depends on your intent when you're going in.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest thing.
I'll make this more clear.
right? Where?
So, if they go to a strip club, so do you all agree that it's a yellow flag? Red flag?
It's a yellow flag.
I think it's more yellow.
Well,
It's going to the redder side. For
It's
me.
Well, I
in the
feel
like
like-
orange. It's like
It's
Okay,
orange.
Oh
my
wait, there you go.
God.
Because I feel like yellow is like 50-50. That it is more orange.
It's
yes.
more orange for
like
me.
I feel
the
like
middle, guys.
I feel like a guy that goes to a strip club while in a relationship is probably not fully attracted to his partner.
That's
I mean, because now you're going to a strip club and you're like,
But
It's
like,
actually not
there are people
funny.
just to dance on you and it's
what
like,
do you think of people going to strip clubs on their bachelor and bachelorette parties then?
I feel like that's just more like a tradition, and other guys is like perceptive like going to strip club on their bachelor's trip because once you're married you're just tied down, so you don't really think about doing like stuff like that in the future.
But then like that's ruined the whole point of like marriage. It's like marriage is like a long life sentence commitment.
Right.
And then like the
Yeah.
night before or like the couple weeks before you have to go and just go and play.
Yes,
I feel like
say
I
your
just draw the
things.
line if they end up sleeping with the stripper. That's different. Or like sleeping with someone, like that's cheating. But
It's not the line.
yeah,
Like,
but I
that's
feel
what
like
you
if they were
say.
open about it with their spouse beforehand, like hey, we're going to bachelor trip, we're going to strip club, and then they're like maybe they're okay with it, then I think it's fine. But if they do it behind their back and then they're going further, then just
So
Like-
like mutual agreements between the partners. Yeah. 'Cause
I don't know how it goes in bachelorette parties, so I
Okay,
don't know.
so if they do go to a strip club, what can they do?
if you're like in a committed
Like, can they
relationship.
touch them? Can they get
So
a
this is
private
just based
lap
on our
dance?
this is just based on our opinions.
Yeah, can they touch the stripper?
I feel like
Mm.
you are not allowed to touch a stripper.
Yeah.
Well, in like
Says
a
something different.
No, they allow you to.
really
Yeah.
if you pay enough money. Or
Yeah.
Well, it depends which one you go to.
because
Yeah.
like a lot of the one I heard on TikTok, they're like, oh, you're not allowed to touch the dancers.
I've
They
never heard
want
of that.
tips. So, attention.
I just
Yeah.
feel like if you're there to like, if you're just standing at the back and watching, it's like,
I guess it's depending who you're going for. Are
Right.
you going for yourself or are you going for your friend?
Because
No,
sometimes
that's true.
sometimes the
if they're
boys
in a
want to go there.
relationship with you, what would you allow them to do if they went to a strip club?
So if it was like your partner, right?
Just tell me what. Just be honest. Tell me what goes down because I have
Exactly.
eyes and ear everywhere. If I don't find out through you, I'm gonna find out another way.
right.
Would you allow them to touch them or just look?
Hey, I honestly I would look to him.
I feel
It's
like,
like me and him going together. Like,
That's fire.
no, I feel like I just want them to look, but as much as possible. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. If you're gonna go, we gotta go together.
like we're both looking at.
Oh,
them,
just try
like-
something new.
Huh?
Try something new.
Yeah, something
I
new
guess, yeah.
together. I
Together.
guess.
So just look is okay.
Look,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think touching is a little bit more
that's too
intimate.
much.
How much can they spend?
Oh.
$20.
$20.
Okay,
That's the
like,
entrance fee.
girl, I think we're on a budget. We're on a budget like $250.
Oh!
Damn.
That's not even a lot at a strip club.
Really? How much do
Oh,
people usually
I
spend?
don't
you
know how strip clubs work.
Like
That's why
a
it's
decent
$20.
amount, like 500.
Dang.
I think 500, but I cut it in half
Yeah.
Ah.
because we're on a budget.
Mm.
We're on a budget.
What do you think, Kai Kai?
I don't like it. I
I
want all the
know.
attention.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Yeah, I don't want a man that pays attention to other women, and especially spends money on them too.
Yeah.
Like
no,
we're
for sure.
married.
That's
yeah,
fair.
that's fair.
That's so fair.
That's super fair.
I think it's also like, because I haven't been in a position where something like that has had to happen. That's why I feel like I'm very still open-minded to it. But I don't know if that's going to change. I do get in a relationship.
I feel like I'm a jealous type.
Mm.
Unfortunately, yeah, I am a jealous type, but like at the same time, I'm like
You're open.
I am open, and also like looking at beautiful girls, beautiful women, like admiring them. You know, like you don't have to touch them. You just go with it.
Right. Like, I want that ass.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Exactly! But, yeah. Again, it falls under what?
Communication.
That's up there. Communication is up there.
It is so up there. Okay, next thing that she's gonna find to talk about.
Being too invested in his friends' opinions.
Oh. Is it like over your
Over-
partners?
Like what? Like in what way? I think that's the biggest thing to
Like
take into
his friend
consideration.
validation,
It
or like
says patriarchy means that groups of men are rarely a positive influence.
Mm.
A man who wants to impress his friends is a man who can be goaded into bad behavior. So if they enable toxicity
okay. So if the guy only listened to his friend group,
I see.
over his girl,
I feel like something you could pay attention to is like if his guy friends are also in relationships or married.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if they're all single, then
That's-
something going on here.
there's a reason why.
Yeah,
Sure.
There's a reason why.
There's a reason why no one wants.
So I do agree with that. That as a guy, like my guy friends, I do care about their opinions to an extent, but back then I would really like value their opinion over even sometimes someone I was with, which was also not something you should do.
What made you realize that at the end of the day, when it comes to this, like outside parties shouldn't? Of course, they're always going to influence the relationship, but what made you realize that they shouldn't necessarily have a say?
I feel like in a healthy relationship, you have to listen to other people's advice, but with a grain of salt, right? Like you can't just 100% just agree with everything.
Right.
And also just my experiences, like I've had my fair share of going back to my guy friends about advice, and sometimes they would be incorrect. You know, and sometimes you have to learn these things on your own.
Word.
And also,
Yes.
that's what also is important is communication with your partner.
Communication.
Because you have to realize that your guy friends are not dating your partner. You're
Right.
dating your partner, so you are the only one with a better perspective of, you know, what you need to do, right?
Like-
So your guy friends can give you advice to an extent,
Mm-hmm.
right? They don't fully understand what's going on in the relationship because you're not in it,
Exactly.
right? You can only tell them, but there's a difference with telling someone and actually being in it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I like that answer.
I do like that answer.
and that's something I learned over the times. That's why I was like,
Well, yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense.
That's why if there's something I need to talk to my wife about, I don't go to my guy friends. I go to my wife.
Right.
Word.
Yeah, because we can communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's so confused, he'll go to his friends.
Well, you need like a third person opinion. You know?
It's always good to have a
That-
third person opinion.
I feel like
yeah.
after they talk to you and y'all don't come to a conclusion about it, then yeah, you can consult other people. But then
Right.
like the first person you have a problem with,
You need
like
to talk to
for you, it's your wife. You need to talk to directly to your wife,
Yeah.
like not talking to like your mom, your grandma, your grandpa, your little brother, your little
Mhm.
sister. Like you don't talk to them first. You talk to your wife first.
I feel like if you truly like trust that person you're with, then you would just go to them and talk to them about anything, and that's where
Mhm.
confrontation takes place.
Right.
Right.
Trust.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not going to a third party before going to your partner.
Yeah.
You know, if you need to deal with any problems within the relationship.
Mhm.
Yes, it's our business first, and then
There you go.
we need an outside perspective. Well, not always, but
If you really need other opinions to have a better understanding, it can help. But
Mm-hmm.
I think your first go-to should be talking to your partner.
Yeah,
Because they're
exactly.
the only person that would have a better understanding because you're in the relationship.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
How do you feel about people being stubborn and not listening to their partner, and that's the reason why friends get all up in their business?
you know how some people don't, like, they always want to take their problems outside the relationship
Right.
Why is that? Why do you think that is?
because they want to be validated by other people.
Do you think that also ties into the fact that they don't want to deal with it themselves, so that
They avoid confrontation.
yeah,
Is
so
that
that they
avoiding-
dump it on other
That's-
people?
that- yeah, I agree to that.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna spread.
That could be a factor to it. Yeah, it's not always the case, but
Mhm.
I can see that happening. Like they don't want to confront their partner, so they're just gonna share it with other friends and
Right.
kind of get validation through them.
Yes. I see that. I think I've done with that with
Yes.
y'all before.
Yeah, I think Asquake over here did that pretty well. Like he covered that topic pretty well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your next point? Come on, let's keep it rolling. Let's go. Let's go.
Wait,
Let's
I
go.
want to make my own question. I'm
what's
usually
your
good
own
at this.
Okay.
It's
Damn.
okay. Take your time.
What's a beige flag?
Like it's not necessarily a red flag or a green flag. It's the gray area.
I've never heard of that.
Wait.
What?
What's a beige flag?
A beige flag?
Yes.
I wanted to talk about green flags, but okay.
We'll get to that later.
Oh, we'll get to
we're
that.
we're,
So
we're
we'll-
like
yeah,
color
Go.
shifting.
Yeah, color
So
shifting
we started
from
off red,
orange,
Okay.
Beige.
and then green. All
How
flags
would
works.
you-
All flags.
How
Right.
would you
Yellow.
feel about being with someone who's depressed?
That's okay.
Why? Why that reaction?
No, but I do agree. It is okay.
I think it's because there's nothing wrong with it. Like the fact that you insinuate, like you had that reaction insinuates that if you're in a relationship with someone who's depressed, like you, that insinuates it's already a bad thing. Like I feel like
No.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
Like I just want to say my fair share. Like you're gonna
Mhm.
if you're with your partner long term, you're gonna deal with them losing family, stuff like that. All of these kind of stuff will get them depressed at one point,
Right.
and then you have to be there for them. You know,
Right.
How about if you meet them like that?
meet them like that.
Then,
Well, I feel like if you're depressed, maybe they're not fully ready for a relationship. You have to kind of, be okay with yourself first before jumping into someone else's like life like that.
I think
But
if you happen to be depressed and you find yourself in the position wanting to be in a relationship with that person, you have to have the emotional, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Stability?
You have to
I
be
guess emotional stability. Yeah.
Like,
You also have to know you're looking for a relationship for the right reasons. You can't rely on someone to get you out of depression,
mm-hmm.
right? So
That's a good one.
You need to have the emotional stability to be able to,
lift them up.
yeah, to be able to, like, go through it, like, what am I trying to say?
Be uplifting.
Not
Warm.
something like that. Hold on.
Either
Let me
Beige.
cook.
Safe
Let me
space.
cook. Let me
Beige.
cook.
Beige.
I
It's
think
very
you need
beige.
to be emotionally stable to the point where you can help them overcome it. Like, just be there for them.
Right.
But also, you can't change someone. You can only influence.
But
them.
depression
Yeah.
is not their personality,
Exactly.
or it's not the way they were born with.
It's just
It's
how
just
they're
like-
feeling at the moment.
It's not how they're feeling at the moment.
But would you be with someone who is depressed?
Why not?
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I feel like if you're already with someone and then they're starting to feel depressed, then
I think
that's
that's
fine.
fine.
But if you feel like you don't want to jump into a relationship where someone's depressed, then
Yeah, that's
I
also
respect that.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like that's
It's-
just your preference.
It is your preference. It's also
Yeah.
your opinion. Because I
Mhm.
think like, for me to jump into for me to go into a relationship with someone who is depressed, it is not them. You know, like
Yeah.
it is like what they're currently feeling
Right.
or like how they're dealing with it right now.
Yeah.
But it's not who they are exactly.
Yeah. And I feel like you take steps. Like you start
Mhm.
off as their friend first and
Mhm.
see if you can help them out as a friend. you know,
Right.
help them out with their depression, but I would probably just do that first before even jumping into a relationship. You know, especially if they're not ready. You know,
Right.
I feel like the person who's depressed, if they know them well, like they know themselves well enough,
Mhm.
then they would know that they're not ready for a relationship, and they'll tell you that.
Right.
Girl.
I think it also falls again under communication because you do need to be
It's like your type.
right. Like you need to understand. Like if let's say you're the depressed person, I would also want to make sure like, like you need to know them well enough to know like being in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
isn't going to like necessarily solve, as we all said, like it's not going to magically solve all your problems. You need to be willing to work on it on your own because it's like how I see it, it's like when you're depressed, that's your own battle, but when you're in a relationship with someone,
Mm-hmm.
it's like they're helping you like go through it. Like they're not the sole person going like when you're depressed. It's like they're here to help you, like give you resources, be that support you need in order to overcome it.
Yeah, I feel like if you really love that person too, like you'd stick around. But if it's too much for you, I could see why
Mhm.
they end up leaving. You know, like I can't have this energy around me, especially if they end up having stuff going on in their life.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, where
Like,
the relationship's not helping them.
like what Jess says, it could be like when they're not in a relationship, they're fighting a battle alone. But then like when they're in a relationship, that person has helped them. Like it's a two people fight against that
Right.
one thing, not like, oh now because I've been fighting all these years or months or days or whatever. Now you're replacing me to fight that battle for
Yeah,
me.
it's not
Yeah.
gonna magically go away on its own. You have to be the person who has
Exactly. Yeah.
to like figure it out first. We're just here for support. Like, cause there's only so much you can do when it comes to. This doesn't even have to do with relationships. Just when someone's depressed, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's
Like-
with anything too, not just
Right.
depression, right? Like I'm not here to fold your clothes and fix your bed.
Exactly.
Like, you know, yeah.
But I think I said that because when I think of like depression and stuff
Mhm.
like that, like that's what comes to mind. Like
Yeah.
the first thing is like people thinking it's gonna solve all their issues, like when they hop into a relationship.
Right.
Do you think it's a beige flag though?
Yeah.
Beige flag?
So beige flag is that nearing green?
They say it's
Beige
not a
flag
red or
is
green
not red
flag.
or-
So it's like okay, so it's like in the 50s. It's like in the middle,
What's another example of a beige flag?
like a guy having a girl best friend. Is that a?
Oh
That's-
no, that's a red. That's like an orange-ish
We've
flag
talked
for me.
about this.
Okay, honestly, like for me,
Mm-hmm.
before you date me, you have that girl best friend. It's fine, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah.
because like you've been knowing her. Depending on how you know her, like
Mm-hmm.
if you've been knowing her since you were in your childhood.
But
Hey, what can I say about it? I barely know you then compared to her.
Mhm.
But if like we're in a relationship and then you have another girl best friend, then okay, that's a problem.
I think
I feel like they just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, this came out of
All of a
nowhere.
sudden she's your best friend. Like,
Right.
what the hell? Yeah.
we've talked about this before. I don't like the idea of that because I feel like most of the time again, it really does depend, as Jill says. But I feel like what you said, Jill, I personally haven't really seen that in a lot of people. Like if y'all like you go way back, let's say elementary school, and then you actually keep in touch. I feel like it just happens to. A lot of the time, I feel like I see people who like. Hold on. Let me rephrase this.
Take your time.
Girl best friend.
Girl best friend.
Like, I feel like that stems a lot from childhood. A lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like from then, if you're not dating at that point, it's just like you're waiting for them.
Oh.
Right.
Cause like for me, I'm not name dropping, but I am friend with like 2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is like not straight, he's gay, and the other one is like I don't know what he is.
A basketball.
A basketball. You know
Yeah,
what? Yeah, right. So like when the one that's not like gay, if he have a girlfriend, I would be in the position of the girl best friend because like other than that it would be like my other best friend.
Yeah.
So I'm like I would assuming like because I'm a girl, I would like to think I'm a girl's girl. I hope I am.
You are a girl's girl.
Yeah, you are a girl's
call me
girl.
out if I
You know
are
a girl.
Oh yeah, I know you a girl's girl.
Hey, that's what's up.
Anyways, but I would like to think that I'm not making like the significant other of that person feel uncomfortable because I'm like a girl best friend
Yeah.
to them, or like a girl, like a best friend to them who happens to be a girl. Cause like that title is just like too much. Cause like you're like one of the best friend who is a girl. Like why aren't you together?
Like it happens to just be that you're a girl.
Right.
That's what you're saying. I didn't think about
like
that
if
way.
like if I was a boy, he would still be friend with me. If I was something else, like if I was a basketball, he would still be friend with me, you know. But I had just happened to be a girl who was like one of his best friends or close friends.
But you stand by like only if they were friends before you even got together, right?
I feel like that.
So if it was like new, then you wouldn't really be about that.
Yeah, no.
Like just came out of nowhere.
Because you have to be the best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair. Like my significant other, like they would be my best.
And
friend.
I feel like it's a huge red flag if the guy starts hanging out with the girl best friend more than you, and they just came out of nowhere. You know, like that's weird. And you guys are together.
Like, what if he invite the girl best friend to a trip? Like, for me, I would deny that trip.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm like, you should go on that with your girlfriend. Like, you're weird.
Yeah.
It depends. Okay, now that I think about it, now that you pointed out. First of all, I retract my statement from earlier because I didn't think about it in that way. I think I went down that route because I thought of what if
Childhood.
not childhood, but it's like okay, childhood. Let's go to childhood. Like you've known them to childhood, person gets a girlfriend, but they still hang out with the childhood girl best friend more. Then what?
That is still kind of like, you know.
That's
right.
Then that's a red flag in itself.
There you go.
But it's on the guys, not on the
But
girls.
would it make it? Would it make any difference if that was a guy instead? Like the best friend was a guy, and you hang out with the guy more than the girlfriend? Would that be a difference?
When you want to hang out with your girlfriend, if you like, you know,
like if the best friend was a guy instead of a girl, would that make a difference to your statement? You know, like he's hanging out with the guy more than the girlfriend.
Right.
I think.
Name.
Thinking.
What did you just say?
Like,
Explain your question again for
So
Kakas.
like the what he said is like, from my understanding, is like, if that girl best friend is now a guy, would you have a problem from him hanging out with that guy best friend more?
If the girl...
so if
the guy was a girl...
Yes.
No,
No, the girl was a guy.
If the girl was the guy...
Yes.
Would her statement be the
Yeah.
same? Like would you still
hold
trip
the same
if?
weight, yeah.
Yeah, would it hold the same weight? There you
Right,
go.
right.
Yeah, if it was a
It
guy.
goes the same way.
Yeah.
It don't matter what gender you are.
Okay. Well, I feel like a relationship and a friendship, your time has to be balanced between both, right?
There you
Like,
go.
I feel like you can't really prioritize your friend over your girlfriend, especially if that's your partner. Like,
I feel like-
are you looking to marry your guy friend or like what's going on here? You know,
Right.
it's like
I feel
you
like
gotta-
y'all have the perfect example of this
Oh,
because I mean, like, y'all been through it.
right.
Y'all were besties for like years, and then like he came into the picture, and then like
We went through our shit, yeah.
They're partners, right? Now they're partners, so she liked to spend time more with him, and then like she would spend significantly less time with you, but it's not little, but it's not as much as before.
Yeah, it's like when it came to that. Okay, this is getting off topic, but I like this conversation. When it came to that, it's like quality over quantity. Like, I see you guys less.
But
it makes
our
me,
hangouts are more meaningful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It makes me
we don't hang out a
you guys
lot,
more.
but when we do hang out, we make the most out of it.
Yeah, because I used to hang out with them every week, and now it's literally once a month.
Well, it will be more frequent when our son is older, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because he's a baby right now. But when he's older, like, I want to take him out more with all of us, you know.
Yes. But it's like, yeah, okay. But when it comes to that, I think it doesn't have to be girl best friend. You guys are right. Like, when it comes to that, if you're spending more time with your best friend than your girlfriend, then something's up. Because I would assume that at that point, y'all have that strong foundation to understand that, like, you know, like, your significant other is going to be taking more time.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make our friendship less meaningful. But by default, I'm going to have to spend less time with you.
Right.
Yeah, I have to prioritize him and Zion over you, and I
Yeah.
told you that straight up. But
You
if
did.
he wasn't here, you know you're my first priority.
Exactly.
But it's good that we, like, understand each other and we can always hang out.
It
Yeah,
took
it's fun.
time.
It took time. She had a lot of salt.
Okay, let's open that can of salt. You know what I mean?
Damn.
I could shower in it. Resentment.
It's like a whole ocean right now, bro. Like, what
Why
you
is
mean?
a whole
It's as salty as ocean. Just kidding.
But it just okay. Back to what I was saying. I think it really depends on the situation. You guys are right. Like if like it shouldn't.
That's fine.
Okay, edit that out. Edit that
I
out.
could burp.
Like if they come out of nowhere, what the fuck's going on?
Right.
But if like they've been there through their highs and lows, I'd say you should try it. You need to be open minded when it comes to it. I think. Ooh, I don't know if it's gonna get me under hot water. It depends on how like.
You won't get canceled, guys.
Get canceled!
Just kidding.
It's okay.
Like
This is a safe space.
okay, let's say it doesn't have to necessarily pertain to girls, also guys too. It pertains to how like confident you feel in y'all's relationship.
So securities.
Yeah,
Insecurities.
like
insecurities?
securities and insecurities.
I like that.
Mhm.
That's weird. I feel like, dang, I'm gonna bring myself into this because in the past relationship I was insecure, bro. Oh heck no, I wasn't ready for that relationship at all. So I feel like.
But it's fine. I feel like you grow from that, stuff like that.
I do grow from it, but it's just like looking back at it, I just constantly have like a feeling of like, darn, I should be in that relationship because like, I then now knew like I wasn't ready because I was so insecure about X, Y, and Z stuff.
Yeah, and that's just how you know you've grown as a person. You know, like you realize stuff like that over time.
Hey, yeah.
No resentment.
But it really depends on case to case.
It does,
I'd say that now. So it is. I think it's a little bitch flag then, because it's
Yeah, it is.
What do you
like,
think about that?
girl best friend.
Sorry, I was spacing out. What happened?
What do you think about that? Just like
Yeah,
The
you didn't talk
concept
that
of it,
much.
yeah.
You didn't talk that much.
What, having a girl best friend?
Or
Yeah.
like
a guy having a girl best friend.
Or a girl having a guy best friend.
like.
Well, that's a whole different topic.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a whole different
Wait,
topic.
oh yeah, that's
Wait,
true.
how?
Because I'm with the girls now. I want to know. Like my
Right,
question
right.
for you guys is like, what do you
Uh-huh.
think about a girl having a guy best friend?
Hold on, wait, we gotta get Kyra's opinion for a second.
Okay,
and then
Let's
we'll jump
get
into
that, let's
that.
get that first.
Okay, go ahead, girl.
For me, it's a red flag because I'm really possessive, and then all the stories about cheating, it's usually from
A girl
a
best
guy
friend.
having a girl best friend.
Ah, that's
It's like the
I just
he's
think
she's
about
just
that.
a friend, you know.
And
like
then
that
I
kind of
get worried a lot, so I'd rather not deal with that.
stuff. Yeah, it's just
But
like.
if she's gay, it's fine.
What if she's bi?
That's what I'm saying, bruh.
Oh!
If he finds her attractive, it's a red flag.
Okay.
Okay.
What attractive in
I'll give you
anything?
that.
Like
I'll
what
give
if
you
what
that.
if he finds her personality attractive? Not.
Yeah, but not looks is fine.
Okay.
Because looks matter.
I mean, it does.
Unfortunately.
But sometimes that
Yeah, and
changes
the
in people's
society
perspective.
girls,
Though.
like, the looks.
Sometimes people end up valuing personality
Like,
over looks.
not. It just
Yeah,
like, you know what I
it should
mean?
be like that. Yeah.
Like, beauty privilege is a thing. Anyway,
Pretty privilege is a thing.
beauty privilege is a very big
Okay,
thing.
continuing.
But then we're not gonna talk about that now. We're talking about another time.
Another
Anyways,
time. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go
Let's
back
go,
to.
come on.
Go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you done?
Okay, it's fine to have a girl best friend if you're gay because the attraction, it's not going to be there. It's not existent.
Right.
If you're gay. Damn, why are you looking at me like that?
No, I just want to know. Like, I was
What?
listening. I'm
That's
listening.
his thinking look.
Keep going.
Yeah.
He's like, what's the exception? That's what his face is saying.
Well, I don't. You are my girl best friend, so.
Yeah.
Well, that's what makes me. I'm kidding.
Oh, this is my bestie.
That's
Exactly.
These are my besties. Yeah.
Okay, that. If it's a long distance friendship, if they're in another state or country, it's fine.
I have a question though about that, right? So let's say it's long distance, but when they were children, they did have a crush on each other at one point.
That's fine.
They're
Okay.
kids.
Years ago.
That's kids.
Okay,
They're
okay.
kids.
High school?
Oh.
How?
I
How
was
old
trying
we
to
are.
line.
If we're like in our 20s, no, that's pretty recent.
Okay.
Darn girl.
What are
Y'all
other
are like a whole
exceptions?
exception.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
is. She's very particular when it comes to this, and I knew that when she said
No,
that
I get it.
question.
Like sometimes you just don't want to deal with the extra, like
Or if
That's
they
fair.
use each other
You
as
just
a
wanna
brother or
avoid that.
sister, that's fine.
You said what?
Brother, sister. If they see us as
Like a
brother,
brother-sister
sister.
friendship?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Okay,
Really?
I'm gonna hear your thoughts on that. I'm gonna hear your thoughts on
This is just from my personal experience, but no, I don't.
that.
believe
Okay,
in that.
I'm gonna hear your thoughts on that. But continue,
Yeah.
Kyra. Brother. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear your
So,
why.
question.
Brother or
Let's
sister?
repeat the question again with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're saying, what if the roles were switched? What if a girl has a guy best
Best friend.
and they have a boyfriend?
I don't like double standards.
Well, I feel like if they were friends, like you said before, right?
Uh-huh.
Before we got together,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fine.
Right.
But I mean, someone that came out of nowhere, that's a red flag. But even like someone that was there before, if they show any signs that are kind of obvious,
Right.
I think that's not something you should like,
What
look
sign?
past.
Like sign?
Like you could tell, like sometimes like a guy is the girl's best friend because they're waiting on the sideline.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like-
what she pointed
Yeah,
out.
like they could be waiting on the side, like they're waiting for their turn.
They're
You know what I
wolf.
mean? Yeah, well, the guys are
like,
wolves. We
like
know
you're in
this.
the basketball, you know, like you're the
Yeah.
player, and then like the guy best friend's on
So-
the
so the
sideline
girls are
waiting
basketball.
to get that ball.
The girls are basketball.
No, the girl.
The
Damn.
girls are basketball,
No.
and the guy's just waiting for his turn to shoot.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when it comes to that whole concept, like a girl having a guy best friend
Mhm.
and then having a boyfriend, or a boy having a girl best friend and having a girlfriend, it really does depend on when they meet the person. Because let's say, hypothetically speaking, big hypothetical, ugh, like I get into a relationship, right?
Oh
Oh.
my god.
I feel like I'm dreaming at that point.
Right. Okay.
I feel like
I
I'm
put
turning
that-
40
right?
yet, for real.
Maybe just for now.
And then like I tell them like I have a best friend,
Yeah.
and like she has a husband who also happens to be like one of my best friends. I view him as a brother. Like, what would you say to that then?
That's different then.
Wait, if you have a best friend but you view him as a brother?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the brother or sister.
Cause yeah, like that's you to me.
Like you view me as a brother. I feel like that's fine,
That's
right?
cool,
That's
yes,
fine.
actually.
But he is like Guya.
But
Yeah.
But if like the brother was like single, then I think that's.
Okay,
I
there
think
you
I
go.
think it's a red flag.
Cause y'all are locked in, so there's no
yeah,
reason to
yeah,
worry.
Yeah, but if like
Mhm.
if your brother was like single, then I think that's a red flag.
Oh.
But your brother.
Doesn't matter. What if he treats her better than the partner?
Ooh.
Shawn Mendes, where you at, girl?
Usually, like they start like when the relationship has problems, they like the girl starts venting to the brother, and the brother's like, "Oh, I'm single." Like, "Oh yeah, I
Then they're
yeah.
also waiting on the sideline.
Like-
get it." And that's what I mean by guys are
Oh,
wolves,
like,
brother or not.
I'd
Yeah.
never do that to you, girl. What are you doing? Like that type shit?
Yeah, exactly. And all
Like,
of a sudden,
who are you
they're in the
looking
same bed.
for?
I was like, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very situational.
That's why I don't do it. Like I don't trust that. Like I don't care. Like if you see him as an older brother, if you guys are not blood related, that doesn't mean anything to me. Like if he's married, then that's something, and you guys were friends before. But if he's like just single, and then,
Out of nowhere.
yeah, or like he's been single, right? Like maybe he could possibly be in the sidelines. I wouldn't really like fully doubt that.
Welcome to your regularly scheduled commercial break. So someone's phone died.
I
I
wonder
wonder
who.
whose phone died.
Anyways, we're gonna do a 7-Eleven run,
Yes, we're gonna get some of our favorite drinks, aka Coke Zero.
and then we'll be right back with the scheduled podcast.
Yes, we're bringing you guys along though. So And we are here at the one and only 7-Eleven. Okay, let's get it. Bruh. So, what are we getting today?
I didn't get anything.
Oh, okay. I get mine. I'm getting 7-Up Zero Sugar.
I want
Wait, the BOGO?
Coke Zero. Cherry Coke Zero specifically. That is my favorite soda, by the way. Let's see. Is she there?
You have strawberry milk? The net?
Okay, we decided on Doritos and Ruffles. Okay, that's it. Thank you for coming to our commercial break. Snack time edition. It's your regularly scheduled program. So before we stopped talking, I think JC was talking about how when it comes to having a girl and guy best friend, even if you view them as like a sibling, if you're not blood related, then it don't matter. Which brings me to my next point. Are you insinuating the fact that if, like, your girl or guy best friend is single, then that's a red flag. But if they're in a relationship, it's okay to still fuck with them in that way.
I wouldn't say it's a huge red flag if they're single. I feel like if they do show any like, even little signs that they're kind of interested in that type of relationship with your significant other, I think that it's a red flag. But I feel like even just because they're single, it's not a complete red flag. But also if they came out of nowhere, I mean, obviously, like, then how can you consider him a brother if you just met him,
Right.
Yeah.
So very situational still.
It's very situational, yeah, but I just don't believe in that just because you see him as an older brother figure, that means he's completely safe,
Ah, I get it.
Because he can see you in different light. You can see I was an overlap, but he probably is waiting on the sideline, but you don't know.
Yeah. Just because they see you as like that brotherly figure, that could change,
A word?
Yeah,
Isn't
that
that
brother
weird?
could be, and they're not blood related, so.
Is that who?
Isn't that weird?
Kind
Yeah, it's weird, but
Oh
I've seen
my
it
God,
I've
that's
seen it
a-
happen.
Oh my god, there's a K-drama that happened? Oh my god.
And this is not sponsored by Coke Zero. Oh, this is yours,
You can drink some.
but Caleb is.
That's her nephew. That's her nephew.
Okay,
That's
so
my nephew.
nephew
Shout out to
Caleb.
Caleb if you're watching this.
Caleb from Australia.
But what do you guys think? What do you think about that?
I already said my piece.
Did you?
Did you?
Well, repeat it then.
Like,
So
if
you
you're
said
like a
it-
brotherly figure, I think that's what we're talking about right now.
Brotherly. I mean, I said it's an exception, but it's weird if it transitions from like a sibling relationship to one that's romantic.
But it's possible. I
It is
wouldn't.
Possible.
It is possible because you are not blood related. Like,
Mhm.
for me, like, because I do have guy best friend and like we know each other, and I only see him as a brother, and he said that he only sees me as a sister. Like, it's weird. Even if like like how you have like kuya and ate in like Filipino language, like I couldn't call him that because it's weird because he's not my actual brother. And like in Vietnamese language, that context is also mean for dating. That's why we like just avoid.
Mm.
Is it like Upa?
Yeah, oppa.
Opa.
Oh, brother. Oh no.
Literally.
Literally. But like it's like that. And then like the oppa context, I don't know. But it's like in that context it's weird. Like I don't call him that ever.
Okay.
So like I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird. Let's move on from these beige flags, this very gray area,
Mm-hmm.
to actual green flags. Let's talk about something more positive.
The safe zone.
Safe zone,
Safe
yes.
zone.
Finally.
I think for me, something that I want in someone is, and consider a green flag, let me put it that way, is that they're ambitious, they know what they want, and they actually put in the effort to work towards that goal. Like, let's say they want to be a doctor, but they're not putting in the time or effort to actually study, they don't go to class, and they slack off, and they're like shit, they realize it, but they don't do anything about it. Then it's like, what are you doing then? What are you doing with your life? Like, if you want it, go get it. That's for me personally. So
Someone who means what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone who means what they say.
I mean, like, walk that walk, talk that talk, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what is it? All talk, no bark?
Oh my goodness.
All talk, no bark?
Right.
Yeah.
Was it
right.
that? I feel like it was like.
All bark, no talk. Or whatever. All bark. Like, it's just like, if you're just saying, you're all saying shit. Like, you're all talk, but you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to say. But
Mhm.
that was an inside joke. All talk, no bark. But I think, yeah, passion is really important. It just shows that they are very, like, that they could commit to something.
Yeah. If they can't commit to like their own, you know, career path or like what they want to do, what makes you think they commit to like a serious relationship?
They don't have, like, no motivation to do
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they can't commit to the career path that, or if they have, like, they have a change in their career path also, like, they not trying to, like, actively finding out things or finding out ways that they could change it,
Yeah.
then that's just, like, it's just not very cool, I guess. That's in other words. What do you think?
A green flag?
Yeah.
Throw it out there.
I would say someone who always strives for our relationship to not be stagnant, so always going to the next level. So like we dated, we got married, we have a kid, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying like it would be a red flag if they're just in terms of stagnant? Do you mean like they're not really moving
Like
up the
just
relationship?
dating to date. I
Dating
can't
to
do
date,
that.
going with the flow.
Yeah, I can't be with someone for like 5 years and it doesn't go anywhere.
Mm.
I need the relationship to grow into something.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, how would
I think she
And-
means like dating with intent, basically.
they would intend?
Yeah. Like
That's
you already know what you want and you know what you're moving forward to. You know, so.
When she said that, it gonna remind me of, like, not to make the relationship boring.
Mm.
Like
You
going
need
out
fire.
on, like,
That's a part of it too.
like
Yeah.
going out, like, on dates,
Yeah.
random dates.
Anything new you do with your partner, I feel like just helps you grow in your relationship too. Because
Yeah.
now you learn something about yourself and the person you're with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like trying new things.
What's yours?
I feel like a green flag is. I mean, I feel like just them putting effort to understand you, right? I feel like that's a very important green flag because I feel like feelings were a lot of feelings are pushed aside in relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
I think another green flag for me is if they're family oriented. Like if
Ooh, that's
I
a good one.
see
that's a good one.
like how they
Okay.
treat their family,
Mhm.
because I think for me it also shows how they treat others and how they are going to be once, if I'm serious with this person, once I get to that point where it's like, okay, do I want to marry this person? I going to start a family with them.
Mm.
Like it gives you a glimpse on how they're going to treat you and your future kids.
I guess that's a good way to
Awesome.
analyze the person you're with.
Mhm.
Like for example, like if they can't even like wake up to fix their bed and stuff like that, what makes you think they can hold down like their tasks in a relationship, in a healthy relationship?
But what if like a person like have a complex relationship, like very complicated relationship with their family? Then how are you gonna look at that and, like, I guess, like, judge them on who they are as a person when it comes to relationship?
You said problems in their family relationship.
Like complicated.
Oh, you mean like no father or like parent issues, daddy issues, like that kind of
Daddy
stuff.
issues.
I guess daddy mommy issues. It's like they're not getting along with their family for whatever the reason is. Like, how are we gonna be able to judge that? Like, are we saying, like, can we judge that and judge them for who they are when they're in a relationship?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it's directly correlated. It's just like as much as possible I would want to find out, personally speaking. But I know a lot of people who are in very happy relationships who have went no contact with their families,
Mhm.
especially online.
Right.
So I think it does vary from person to person because everyone's situation and relationship with their family is very unique.
Yeah, and that's what it means by everyone's different. I feel like even though you're in that situation with your family, it really just depends how you decide to handle that, right?
Mhm.
Like you can handle it by kind of feeding into that negative energy, where it also goes to your relationship, or you can actually grow and learn from it. Hey, this is not what I want.
Right.
In my relationship, I'm gonna be different. So it really just depends on the person and their mindset.
What do you think, Kai?
Oh, about being family oriented?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I can't talk about myself. So what else can I say?
Say something else.
Yeah, add another green flag then.
Yeah.
Someone who takes every opportunity to strengthen the relationship, especially the little things.
That's a good one.
Give me an example.
When he bought me sandwich.
Oh, just like very little
So the
things.
little things.
Just like
Those
being-
matter a
just
lot.
to
That's
be
true.
considered.
Are you talking about when I picked you up and I pulled up with a Ike sandwich?
Yeah.
Ike
Mm.
sandwich? Girl, okay.
It had the Godfather sauce, guys. It was
Is it good?
good.
I've never tried Ike's before.
I keep accidentally grabbing your Coke.
Just drink it.
I can't tell which
It's
is mine.
fine.
Well, okay, yeah, that's so the little things, right?
Yeah, so little things. Oh,
It's-
that's cute.
It's like it proves that you pay attention,
Mm-hmm.
like that type
Yeah.
of thing.
I feel like when you're in a relationship for a long time, people forget to put in effort because they get so comfortable. So they don't really do anything to spark it up, right?
Right.
So like, if you're like, oh, like, just because we're married doesn't mean we're not gonna,
Do X, Y, and Z.
yeah.
Like, it's cheesy.
Like, we still gotta do new things. Like, you still have to grow. There's always a lot of room to grow, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I think another green flag. I always said hardworking, ambitious, and that they're family oriented.
Would you be with someone who already started a family on their own?
Ooh.
Like, they got divorced and stuff, or?
They have a kid.
They have a
And they
kid.
got divorced?
But they never got married. Maybe they just have a kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they just.
They have a baby daddy, baby.
Mama?
Well, in your case, a baby mama.
Oh. Depends on where I am in life.
Right.
Because
Right
right
now.
now, no.
Okay.
Honestly, like, I don't. Because I'm not ready to take care of a kid myself. Like, I don't think that I can take care of a kid, period. Yeah.
Mm.
That is just not what I signed up for. To be fair, like, that's not what I think. That's not what I signed up for, and that's not what I want to be right now. Maybe if I'm like in my 30s and stuff, or like late 30s, I'll do it.
I think for me, I'm along the same boat as Jel. I think it really depends on where I am in my life at the moment. Right now, because, I got school, I got work. I want to work towards what I want when it comes to my career. If I'm with someone and they have a kid, it's not something I'm actively looking for. But if they're the one, and it's a stretch, of course, but if they're the one and they do happen to have a kid, and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You're going to find a way to make it work.
What's up with that?
Do you believe in the one? Do you think they?
Okay, we're going
Oh
there.
my gosh, how about this question? I mean,
Do you believe in the one?
one.
What do you guys think,
one.
chat? What do you think?
What do you
what do you
think?
think? Leave it in the comments.
Do you believe in the one?
That concept of it, the romantic in me always does think that. But I also think with that, it takes a lot of time. Like, you have to be patient with that.
Right. Hopeless romantic, realist.
Nah.
Nah.
No.
No.
You're just gonna make it work.
Mm.
You have to make someone the one.
You don't have to make someone the one.
Well, if you want the one, like, you have to work on the relationship to strive to be.
Right, but if you want to make that person the one, but they don't want to be the one for
Yeah, that's
you,
what I'm saying.
then it's the same thing. Like, you can't make them to be the one
Yeah,
for
I'm
you.
not saying like you could force it, you know.
Right.
You can decide if someone's the one. There you go.
I'm like, yeah. But I'm like, I'm pessimistic, so I don't think the one is.
Mm.
So if it's not the one, then what would be the correct term for that?
I feel like, I don't know, brother.
Soulmate number one.
I feel like
Something.
soulmate is so also very hopeless romantic type
It's
of
very
concept.
hopeless romantic.
I don't think it has to be romantic.
It's like partnership.
That's true.
Yeah.
Partnership.
For everyone who thinks
No,
that
not
relationships is like a Disney movie, no.
There would be moments where it's like that.
Yeah, you'll have those moments, but there's always like, it's a mountain, right? You're going up and down. You just gotta work your way over obstacles.
It is a brick of Legos.
Yeah.
Okay, I think everyone's had a green flag. Now, I want to talk about love languages.
Do you know the 5
There's
love
5.
There are
5.
five.
Can you tell us what they
Five.
are, bestie?
Gift giving.
Hey,
What else?
Words of affirmation.
Hey!
Physical touch.
Okay.
And then
That's 3.
oh, he's okay. He's
cooked. That's all he knows.
I left
That's
2 out.
it?
I left 2 out. It's a 3.
What are
What's
the
the
rest
other
jelly?
2?
I know it. I just
Rest?
gotta like think.
wait. What did he say already?
So
Gift
Gift
giving,
giving.
physical touch,
words of affirmation.
words of affirmation,
Dang.
quality time.
Ooh,
Okay, and then.
I always get stuck in one left. Oh, yeah.
Quality time and like.
I know it.
What is
word? Oh no. What's it called?
What is it?
No, you should know.
Come on, dude.
Acts of service.
Yes.
Oh.
She likes that because sandwiches.
Oh.
I think for me,
That's acts of service and gift giving.
Yeah, I like it.
I gift you
Combo.
a sandwich. I got you a sandwich.
I ate the sandwich.
Yeah.
I think for me,
Eating.
eating is a
No,
lot.
physical touch. I handed you a sandwich.
Oh.
I just knocked off 3 right there. Because I gave her the sandwich. I gave you the sandwich. I gave you the sandwich.
Yes. You said that like 10 times.
I got the sandwich.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
That's it. Why are you looking at
Alright, guys. Sorry.
He's trying to make a point,
Trying
but
to
it's
really
okay.
sell the sandwich.
One point.
He's choking a little bit. It's
I'm
okay.
trying to hold
I
you.
think we're editing that part out. Anywho,
Probably not.
It's fine.
I'll keep that in there.
It's fine.
I bring this up because I want to ask you guys, like, what do you consider your top 3? I know mine. Y'all know my number 1. Y'all better know my number 1.
That you like to receive or give.
So it's gift giving.
Yeah.
That's what she.
True.
Yeah.
Duh.
That's why I always pick up like food.
Yeah, spaghetti.
Yeah. That's so thoughtful of you.
I
Appreciate
think
it.
giving, mainly giving it to someone.
Yeah,
Gift
giving
giving.
and not receiving it.
Because, like, the amount of times, like, maybe one of y'all mention something, and I'm just like, okay.
Mm.
Or when I see something that reminds me of you guys, I just buy it. Like, I don't think about it. I'm
Okay.
like, if it reminds me of you,
No, let's get it.
I'm getting it.
So that's your top 1.
I'd say so.
How about you? What's your top 1?
For me, it depends.
On the person?
Yeah, I would say so. Like,
Or on your mood?
no person.
Okay.
I feel like number 1, it goes between quality time or physical touch. It really depends on the person. Cause like if it's y'all, quality time for sure.
Right.
The person may be like a little bit like glitching between like physical touch. Cause I
Okay.
like hugging, I like doing stuff, but like not so much with like the person who I'm not really close with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like I honestly like during high school years, I did a quiz and then they put me as like physical touch as the very bottom one because I don't like people touching me. But then when I had my first boyfriend, like I realized how much I value like those physical touch that we had, like holding hands, huggings, and all that stuff. So I'm like, it just really depends on the person.
Okay.
But quality time is always in the top 3. Physical touch is like here and there. The second one is probably gift gifting. I like receiving and gift gifting as well. What's the last one? Word of affirmation. That one's important.
That's your last one?
That's number 3.
Oh, number 3.
I
Okay.
think-
So that's your top 3.
Top 3, yeah.
Okay.
I assume. So, obviously, gift giving is the number 1. And then I'd say, I'm very clingy. Everyone knows that. So, physical touch, I think, is number 2. And I think acts of service is the 3rd one.
Yes.
And that's in the order, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
Top
your
3
line.
for me.
Okay. How about you? What's your top 3?
Mix of acts of service and quality time.
Mm.
But right now it's mainly acts of service.
Acts of service and quality time.
Write it down.
What?
Write it down.
Is that top? No, top 3. You're missing one.
I think that's our top
The
one.
3rd one.
The 3rd one?
Physical touch.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I think between us, top 3.
I feel like for me, my number 1 has to be acts of service because I feel like actions speak louder than words, right? Like you could say all this stuff, but your actions don't show that.
Yeah.
My second one, words of affirmation. You know, I like to hear it too.
Word
you
of
know?
encouragement.
Like, I like it when you speak your mind to me and how you feel.
Yes.
And number 3, physical touch.
Mm.
Physical touch.
Wow.
Physical touch.
I I feel like. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But my question for you guys is like,
Yes.
if there was one love language that you have to push out the way, what would it be?
Push out the way.
Like
Eliminate?
you, like that you would, eliminate, like that you wouldn't receive.
Active service.
Active
'Cause
service?
That's my last one.
That's your last one.
Yeah.
But why is that like last
Do you
one?
think that access service should be the bare minimum type thing?
What is active service? Like doing
When they're
small
actually like
things?
doing stuff for you, it could be big things too. It's not just small. So like
small or big things.
When they help you with your homework, that's active
That kind of
service.
stuff.
I feel like
pick you up from work, access service, that kind of stuff.
it's not really bare minimum. I feel like that's someone. I would feel some type of way, but it's just like I feel grateful. I don't know if it's like in a relationship. I would just like ask them to do that because I would feel like I'm a bother.
For me?
No, you're not.
I know I'm not, but you know the other half of my brain was like, "Girl, you a bother." It's like you're wasting your time picking me up. Happens a lot.
Mine? Okay, I said,
Which one would you kick out?
thinking. What did I have left again? Gift giving, physical touch, and acts of service. So my other two are what?
Quality time and
Words of affirmation.
What's your affirmation? Oh, that's hard.
Right?
If you had to eliminate one.
Because I just said my top three. Quality time, words of affirmation. Ooh.
You'd probably eliminate one of the ones you didn't put in your top three, then, right?
Right.
Because the other two was quality time and word of affirmation, which is like
Probably-
hard.
Oh, it's easy to say. I guess words of affirmation then.
Well, because at the end, like it's you could view it as just words. Then.
Right. Like I feel like the reassurance that gives you. Oopsie, ding. The reassurance that it gives you, like of course it helps out, but as time goes on, I feel like you need that one less and less and less. Yeah.
Okay.
It's quality time. Like I need quality time with you guys. If I don't spend time with y'all, what am I doing?
How about you?
Gift giving.
Wow, that's my number
No,
one.
if I had a lot of money, I would do it a lot, but
Oh, like giving it.
yeah.
I was gonna agree. I was gonna do the same thing. Gift giving would be the one. If I had to eliminate one, it'd be that one. Yeah, because I could buy myself my own gifts. Yeah.
Oopsie. That's my number one. Let's see. Love languages. Now, what can we talk about when it comes to relationships? What else is there?
What's it, security, anxious, avoiding.
Oh, attachment style?
Attachment style.
Ooh.
Those are a lot. MBTI, bro, on that.
Ooh.
What sign are we?
Ha!
Zodiac sign? Oh,
Take a guess in the comments.
yes, take a guess in the comments.
We'll reveal it next time we come on.
It's we're just letting y'all know we're the avatar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So each of us is one.
Different
Sign,
elements.
yeah.
Yeah. There's no repeats. That's crazy.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Okay, attachment style.
Attachment style.
Let's get into it.
Me? Darn, I think. Darn.
I think
I think I'm. What's the attachment style?
anxious.
I'm very anxious. I'm an anxious ball.
I think I am too, right?
When you mean anxious, like anxious with what, like in your relationship, like when it comes to.
Anxious attachment is like. How do I describe it?
Like, do you think they're gonna leave you because X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
Yada yada yada.
Like you're very careful, but you're overthinking a lot. You're careful with like your words. Like whatever you say, one wrong thing, and then they leave you. That's been like the past relationship, I would say.
Okay.
I don't know about now. If I get into a relationship, I don't know about now. But in the past, it's been anxious.
What are the options? Because I'm not really too familiar with the attachment styles.
Anxious,
Oh,
secure.
Avoidant.
Yes, avoidant.
Ah, I used to be avoidant.
And then like confused, which is your anxious avoidant.
So what's avoidant exactly?
Avoidance, like you're avoiding the problem.
You would avoid confrontation.
Yeah, you're avoiding confrontation. That-
I think I'm anxious avoidant. Ooh.
confused. You're
Confused because I've noticed from my past relationships and just from guys that I've talked to that like when they don't respond, when I think everything's going smoothly, I overthink so much. And I don't like confronting them about it. So, boom! There you go.
Very, she have like a very spiral.
Mm-hmm.
Like once, like, for example, the guy she talked to, if he don't respond right away, or like she would go and stalk him on Instagram and stuff.
Oh, not you exposing me.
She's not like that, Chet.
No. She would go spiral the heck out of it, like, what I do wrong, like, you have so much time, like, why didn't you talk to me, yada, yada, yada.
X, Y, and Z, yeah.
Are you guys familiar with the push and pull method?
Oh my god.
Brother.
Are you actually familiar with that?
No. Not really. Kind of,
Okay,
I know.
so-
I've heard of it.
We can talk about that later, but...
Oh, hot
No,
and
they
cold?
should know.
Okay.
Hot and
so,
cold?
As my former self would do, right? It's like... There's something called the push and pull method, and some guys out there know about this, right?
Don't do it.
It's when you kind of like nurture a person, right? A girl, and you give them your attention, and then all of a sudden you just
Take
take
it
hella
away.
long, you let everything marinate. Oh, he hasn't texted me in so long, I think I did something wrong. And then they want you to come towards them. Push and pull.
What is it called? No.
Breadcrumbing? Does that tie into breadcrumbing?
Breadcrumbing.
Yeah.
Do you know what breadcrumbing is?
Oh, love bombing.
Well, the push and pull method, I used to do, like, you know, former self would do something like that.
I think breadcrumbing was
Yeah.
would be like another
Form of that?
a form of that.
They
Like
just leave you
push
enough to keep you.
going.
Satisfied. And then they go away.
I wouldn't necessarily say they go away, but it's kind of like, you can go away, but or you could stay and kind of like, you know, because you kind of like that kind of attention. You know what I mean? Like you feed on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, oh, like, I like her chasing after me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But back to the main topic.
Attachment style. What do you think?
I feel like for me, I used to be like more as an avoidant. Like I would just avoid confrontation and kind of keep to myself. But then I learned over the days, like over the years, like you can't be like that in a healthy relationship, right? Because now you're avoiding to confront the problem, right? And then nothing's gonna be solved that way,
Right.
right? If you're not communicating about it. So now I'm like more.
Communication.
But now I'm more like secured.
Mm.
Well, you're in a secure relationship.
You go,
What do you
guy.
think?
I love security.
Yes. What about you in the past?
My past avoidant
Mm-hmm.
attachment. I would also avoid confrontation. I think because every time I would bring up a problem, then I would feel like a burden to them. So I would just keep it to myself.
No.
But now I have to be a secure attachment.
I feel like when you're married, especially, you know, your family, like, you really have to communicate your feelings. Right? You have to solve it together, or nothing's gonna happen.
Dang. Okay, word.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
What else is that? Can we got that?
Oh, your type. We forgot.
Stop!
to talk
Not about your type! I'm not going first.
My type.
Hey, careful. Yeah. You had one answer, and he answered correctly.
ABGs.
Girl, she said
I'm
ABGs.
just kidding.
Hey, she can look like.
I could look like one.
Yeah,
my
she
type.
could look like one, but
I could look like an ABG too.
For me, I'm very unrealistic.
her hair a little bit longer.
Believe it or
dyed.
not, actually.
I'm very unrealistic with it. Y'all know Jungkook from BTS.
Dang.
Basically him,
Dang.
but nerdier.
And the what? A nerdier. He could be nerdier.
Right.
He can be nerdier. Oh God, what is mine?
You don't know your type?
Nerd, tall Asian nerds.
Tall Asian
Tall
nerds.
Asian nerds.
Tall Asian nerds.
Yes, that's the type.
Mm-hmm.
And good looking.
Why are you
Oh,
ashamed?
and yeah, tall between 5'10" and 6'2".
Okay.
No more than that.
You hear that, chat?
No.
If you're a tall Asian nerd,
Hit her up.
Me!
and if you're a
Jungkook looking up. Where's
Yeah.
the contest? Jungkook looking like contest.
you know,
I can't. But yeah.
You should insert a photo of how your ideal type looks like.
it's probably in the back of your phone. Just kidding.
Sure.
Booty show off.
My ideal type. My
And
Melody.
Megan.
Yeah, Megan, the booty.
Yes. We mentioned Megan so many times.
I love Megan.
It's crazy.
But
I think like for personality wise, I would want someone with to have manners. Manners very important to me.
Basics, Yeah.
Manners really important to me because
Mhm.
some people don't know how to act. You know,
Yeah.
or they act in a way that you don't expect them to act just because of the way they look.
Where their looks and their actions don't
They
align.
don't align.
It doesn't match.
I also think for me, like a big thing is
Do you still want someone who looks like a 6?
Like
A 6?
A 6?
we're gonna get into that later. We're getting off traffic. Not traffic.
Traffic.
Off
I
topic.
wish.
Off topic of what we were yapping about. I think for me, I want someone who knows themselves very well.
Mhm.
Like they are their own individual person before getting into that relationship. Like they're confident with themselves.
Like they kind of found themselves already
They
over,
found
their, over
themselves,
their time.
right? Because I feel like, let's get into this. Codependency
Oh yeah.
is a really big thing when it comes to relationships.
Codependency.
Isn't the goal to be interdependent?
I guess
Is that the right term?
Interdependent.
That too.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
But I feel like
Yeah.
having that type
Codependency
of...
is not really good. So I just want to like chime something in. Like I feel like if you're really codependent, if you lose that relationship, then
You lose yourself in it.
yeah,
Yeah.
you lose yourself, and then you get lost, right? And then you kind of have to like start
Mhm.
over. Right? Like you haven't really grown on your own.
Because I think knowing yourself, it sets a really good foundation because if things go sour, you have the backbone to be like, okay, I respect myself better than that. I can leave. But if you're codependent, you're just in shambles.
Right.
And you need to take more time to try and find out who you actually are outside of that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what I want. That's what I would want in someone. Someone who's
Yeah.
confident.
That's
with
already done all
themselves.
that before jumping into
Mhm.
a relationship.
Yeah. What are some green flags y'all found in each other then? Or like, what did you think? Like, oh, my bad. What did you think? Like, you two. Like,
What do you like the most about each other? What quality you find the most
Right.
attractive?
Personality wise?
Yes, girl.
What else?
Yes,
I feel
girl.
like-
Like
okay,
you green flag?
There's not much looks wise, respectfully speaking.
Damn.
Are we gonna keep that in there?
Right back at you, sister.
Simple!
Okay, I feel like for me, like how we first discussed was communication. I feel like it's so hard to find someone that can really communicate with you well, you know.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
Kai Kai.
Like
Damn.
a you green flag or one that I already
Just
had that he had?
Anything.
Anything.
Anything?
Or I think she meant like, what
Voice.
did you find in me? Like a green flag.
Yeah, like
No,
yin
like-
and yang type shit. Like, how do y'all balance each other out? I
Mhm.
think that's what I wanted to try to say.
Balance.
He's family oriented. I'm not. So I gotta navigate.
She's learning.
She has.
She's
I'm very proud of
doing
her
good
with
job.
that.
She's
She's
doing
come a
good.
long way.
Yes, and
I guess
someone who could adapt to my family situation.
Mm.
Very flexible. Flexible. You say like that's another
Adaptable.
term? Adaptable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. I feel like if I were to like date to marry someone, they would have to understand my family dynamic. That's also very important because it's not as complicated, but it's not that simple either.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So would be another one I would say.
Yeah. We covered so much.
What's a green flag that's so hard to find in someone?
Nowadays,
Loyal.
I
Loyal.
feel like in your early 20s,
In your
as a
early
girl,
20s?
it's fine. It's hard to find someone who's mature.
mature.
Yeah.
Early
And
20s. I mean, I feel like because you're still in that phase where you're just like
You
going
wanna
out and
have
about
fun.
partying, stuff
Right.
like that.
I-
Not everyone's ready for commitment because they wanna.
Exactly.
It's just everyone is like. There's a lot of people like that are attainable out there. You know, there's a lot of options, is what I would say.
I also think if you're not into partying and doing a lot of stuff that goes with that, it's hard to find someone who doesn't like drink or smoke,
Someone who has
Or,
the
like,
same values.
do stuff
Mm.
along the lines of that.
yeah.
If you don't want someone who does that.
Yeah. That's all preference, right?
There's all preferences. I feel like it's interesting because like the dating scene in Vietnam is different. Like my cousin who was like what 20, she's only a year older than you, and then like her husband now, her now husband is like only like 4 years older than me. They're married, have a kid, and that's normal. Like that's the standard in Vietnam. Like if you were like your age is normal. To go over there.
But when we got married, we have a kid. Everyone's shocked. Like, oh my
god.
Like
y'all so young.
Even with me, like, they still like that. I'm 26, and they're like they're shocked to find out that I'm married. I was like, dude, because people usually in our generation, in our area, get married around 30 or over.
Right.
Yeah, but back in the day, like our parents would get married like early 20s.
Early 20s, yeah.
Yeah, early 20s.
What makes you think like that dynamic shift?
Yeah.
The economy.
Well, I think it's more like, you know, like the dating apps, all of that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Like I feel like that plays a toll. Like, oh, you can literally go on an app, swipe, right, and then now all of a sudden you have a date over the weekend, right? And then the next one you have another date with someone else over the weekend. So it's like now you have all these options. You're like, I'm not ready to commit. I want to find someone who's better suited for me, and they need to do like process of elimination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because of how you have more options.
Yeah.
That's why you're trying to have to find the one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the process of elimination, the amount of time that takes for everyone is different, right? That could take years, decades, and like
months or weeks too. Yeah. That leads me to my next question. Do you think the presence of dating apps like affected how people view dating?
For sure. No. Yeah.
I just want to. Like now versus back then.
Mm-hmm.
Also, how do you think dating apps go hand in hand with hookup culture?
Oh, that's a good
transition. It enables
transition.
hookup culture because everything is way more accessible.
Mm-hmm.
But it also drives people to have unrealistic standards.
Right.
In what ways?
Like, let's say you meet someone good, right, who's good for you, is not toxic, but then they think that they could find someone better.
Mm-hmm.
So they leave that person and they just go on the app, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Then you realize that the person you were with before was kind of like better for you. Yeah. I feel like with dating apps, right, a lot of people use it as a coping mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, oh, they just got heartbroken. I don't want to think about the person I was with. I'm gonna swipe, you know, like, and I'm gonna like start going on dates with random people, like new people to kind of get my mind off someone, and that's when they end up having a rebound. You know? Right. So a lot of guys do that. Yeah. I don't know about. I mean, I know girls do that too. So a lot of people do that, and I don't think it's healthy, but it is easily accessible. So I can see why people end up just doing that instead of going through the hardship of getting over somebody the natural way.
Do you think it's also just very situational when it comes to being on dating apps?
What do you mean?
Like, what if it's been what if they think it's time to move on and don't want to put themselves out there?
I feel like if they moved on,
So you'll accept it if they moved on, or not accept it, but you think it's
healthier.
Healthier?
It is for sure. I feel like, I mean, if they finally moved on their past relationship, I think it's fine. But like I said, if they're just using it to just distract themselves, it's not. What do you think about that?
I mean, girls also use it for validation, so they're like, oh, I got this many likes on Tinder or Hinge. Like, I know I'm desirable.
Yeah. How about you, Joe?
What's the question?
Like, what do you think about that?
Me, what my teacher asked me out of nowhere is like, what's the question again? Because I'm listening. Anyways, not because I'm zoning out. Anyways, what's the question? What did I think about dating apps and hookup culture?
Yeah.
Does it enable it? I think it's an enabler. It is an enabler because, like you said, like it just very have easy access.
Yeah.
And like that you just go through that many bodies, you know.
Yeah.
That's never the goal.
I feel like it encourages like having the ability to really detach yourself from someone else. You know, like, oh, like they can see the person as replaceable. You know, like,
replaceable.
Yeah. That's a good.
And I feel like a lot of people use it like that. Oh, like we're not working out. Like, you know, it's okay. Like, you're replaceable. I'm just gonna be off to the next. And next thing you know, like, you know, it's a whole new thing going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that we got talking about dating apps, okay, that brings me to our next question. That ties into hookup culture because I think when it comes to dating apps, especially with a lot of people being like, oh, like, I want to be friends first.
Oh.
What do we think of friends with benefits type shit?
Friends with benefits, it could become a situationship because one is going to have feelings for another, but then it's not going to be reciprocated, and then it's going to transition to a situationship.
Right.
Because then they want that, like, one person wants to be friends with benefits, but the other person wants someone more.
I don't think it's healthy.
But then, like, the person who doesn't reciprocate their feelings, they're going to be like, oh, but at the same time, like, I don't want to break this friends with benefits situationship thingy.
It's like,
so it keeps going.
It's like low-key, it's like, oh, I want to... It's like when you're being friend, right? Just like pure friend, and then you like that person, you don't want to break that friendship for anything. Because
you're already familiar with them.
Yeah.
Right. What if they were able to turn that friends with benefits into an actual relationship?
I think, in my opinion, that depends how long that took. Like, why is it taking so long to transition from that to relationship? I feel like...
How long do you think it's, the appropriate time-ish?
I feel like people in, like, a friend, like, in that situation, they're not fully understand what they're looking for yet. That's why they're doing that. And it's just a mere distraction over the time. It's all pleasure, but, like, emotionally, like, you don't see yourself, like, long term. If you don't see yourself marrying this person or having a family, then it's gonna be temporary.
Right.
You don't see that, like, big commitment, because once you find the next person who's actually willing to do that with you and that you see better fit, you're gonna drop that person.
Right.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're just sleeping with them over those times, and then it was just all pleasure. Like, that's it. You both were just using each other.
Dang, bro.
I think when it comes to friends with benefits, that last part you said, you're both using each other, that really is the case. Because when it comes to that, someone's bound to get hurt in the end. One way or another.
Someone catches feelings, yeah.
Exactly. If it's not one person, or it's the other.
Right. For me, I'm a little toxic, so I'm expose myself. For me, with that, I'm like, I'd rather them get hurt because of me get hurt because I'm selfish like that. So I'm breaking it off first so they would get hurt and I would get hurt.
Damn.
That's how I think I did that, and that's how I would have still do it, just because, like, at that time, it was, like, emotionally draining with that relationship. And I'm like, okay, I don't think it's going anywhere, so I'm going to break it off. I think that's the thing for me. I don't know if that's selfish, but I'm like, if I don't get as hurt in the end, like, emotionally invested-wise, like, emotional-wise, because at that time, I was, like, low-key invested in that relationship. So, if that little heartbreak that I caused them would make us both in the long term doesn't hurt as bad, just small sacrifices, I guess.
I see. Yeah, I think, like, as long as in the beginning you're kind of open about it, like, hey, like, I'm only looking to do this, like, I don't see us escalating to, like, the next level. As long as you're honest about it up front. I mean, if the other person gets hurt at the end, at least, the other person was already upfront with you.
So you think, again, communication is the biggest thing that needs to be expressed,
especially in that type of like relationship. Right. Yeah, like, hey, like, after I find someone, like, that, like, we're getting serious, and I'm cutting this off. Yeah.
Okay, back to, like, the cheating red flag, whatever is going on, because this kind of relate to it. What if the person is still having, like, friends with benefits, but then you're getting to know another person, and then getting to know in the relationship at the same time? Like, this is in the same timeline.
Oh, like, it's like you're getting to know someone like that. Like, no, I feel like the moment that you already kind of sense that, you need to drop that person. The friends with benefit, because, like, that's not.
Would that consider be, like, cheating? Because you're just, a lot of the time it's just like you're getting to know another person, but this friend with benefits is having at the same time as that.
Not necessarily, in my opinion. Sorry, I'll let you go after, but, like, not even if they're like labeled, like, if they haven't declared, like, oh, we're together, then no. But if they're still, like, in the getting to know stage, like, obviously that's something that person should bring up. Hey, I just want to let you know I was doing stuff with this person while we're talking, because, like, that's also part of honesty and communication. So I feel like, out of respect, they should know about that. And then you need to let them know, like, obviously you're gonna drop that person.
Right.
And then that person, and I mean, a lot of like people are afraid to bring that up because they're worried that, oh, you've been doing this with this person, and like now they kind of don't want to commit to you because like you've been doing that. You know,
Right,
like
right,
it can kind of like leave it like a sour taste in their mouth. You know.
I was just gonna add on to what Jel was saying before you talked. Like, when it comes to that whole situation, the lines get really blurry,
Right.
really fast.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And as you just said, communication is just the biggest thing you need to instigate when it comes to a friends with benefits type of situation. Point blank period.
Because it's better heard from you than them finding out. You know. Themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kai?
Friends with benefits. I mean, yeah, what you said, that you should let the person know, but as long as you're respecting each other's boundaries, then it's fine. Whether that's keeping it, actually, no, I wouldn't say keeping it a secret from them. I mean, you should always be upfront about that. Yes.
Like, will you be upfront as in like, hey, girl, I'm seeing other people, or like, hey, I'm doing X, Y, and Z with this
Right.
person, or like when you're like ready to be like, I want to go into a relationship with you. I want to be ask you to be my girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and they said yes, and then after they said yes, would you let them know after they said yes or before they said yes?
I think before you ask, you need to
Yeah,
be
be like,
clear with
yeah.
what's going on with the friends with benefits.
Like,
and
hey, like, there's something you should know. There's this guy, blah blah blah, and then you
right.
you should let them know that
there
beforehand.
was
out of
like
respect.
leeway.
Right.
Yeah. Because I feel like, you know, you probably want the same thing reciprocated to you if you're talking to a guy and like you want him to be upfront. Hey, there was this girl I've been doing stuff with. You know, like before we kind of escalate to a more serious relationship together. Like, you should like I want to let you know this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, before we end, I'm gonna turn the questions to JC because you have the girlies here. Are there any questions when it comes to relationships that you
Wait, I
want
have a
to ask
question.
for us?
Oh.
Go
Oh,
my!
He has a
Finally, she
question.
speaks.
I'm letting y'all speak.
Go.
Okay.
Whoa, this is a 4 people podcast, not a 3 people.
I'm letting y'all speak. I don't want to interrupt.
Girl.
Okay, go
But,
girl.
okay,
I feel like I
so,
interrupted everybody. It's like I want to say my piece too.
so
Like,
with communication,
Right.
so you said that, so I think y'all agree that you guys should be completely transparent with your partner, right?
Right.
How transparent?
Exactly.
Transparent.
Ooh.
So what are some things that you prefer to keep a secret from your partner?
Ooh. Girl.
There's always something.
What would you keep?
Oh yeah, what would you keep? Oh my.
Text me.
Boy,
Text me.
I could think about something.
Go.
Oh.
Oh!
Wait.
Ira.
I think you're an ugly crier.
I think I'm an ugly crier too, honestly.
Yeah,
Okay,
same.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll never cry in front of you.
No!
I know.
Cheer for crying.
Cheers! Where's my phone?
Cheer for crying.
Okay.
Okay, but
So it's no longer secret.
never mind. How transparent?
Yeah.
I think when it comes to small things like that,
Oh, so okay.
it's okay. Like little
No things.
little things.
Can you give me an example?
Like, oh, when your poop stinks so bad.
But that's a common thing.
Okay, right, never mind.
It's
Not
naturally
that.
gonna stink.
No, is it gonna smell like flowers?
Do yours
like,
smell
I want
good?
to see that.
What poopery? What poopery?
Okay,
You know that
actually,
ad?
it's like, oh shit, like this person has really bad table manners. They stuff their face when they eat. That's me.
So you prefer if you're,
Not like that's an example. It's like small things
but
like
would you
that.
want to know that if they think that?
I mean, is that gonna stop them from doing that? I don't think so. I mean, she told me that.
Okay, so it's fine if they
And that's-
tell you.
It's a hypothetical, yeah, if they tell me, but it's like you
But-
can live with knowing without knowing,
Right.
basically. Because he didn't have to know that he's an ugly crier.
Because I was gonna go on with our whole lives not telling him that.
Oh, sorry.
So
Yeah.
something that you would never tell them.
I'll never cry for you ever again.
No, I want you to do it.
It's like really small things like that. Because that's not that. It's not too serious.
It's not too serious.
But if it's something like, I cheated a long ass time ago. Like, I feel like you have the right to know that.
Right.
Hmm.
What if it was in high school?
You still have the right to know.
So
that.
like you feel like whoever you end up with in the future, like you need to know if they've cheated in the past. Is that something that has to be disclosed?
I think like
Yes.
I think like
I think so.
in the most recent or yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I think you don't have to go into detail.
it's like oh
Yes,
I did
want
X,
to know
Y,
all
and
the
Z,
details.
but you don't have to go into like why. Maybe you could go into why, but like very brief.
You don't have to
You don't
go-
have to go to like the extent of like your process of thinking. Like, why did I do this X, Y, and Z in every single
You
action?
can give the boy version of the
yes,
situation.
very TLDR. Too
Yeah.
long to read.
So you guys would consider being with someone who's cheated before?
I'm just gonna look at you like that. That should answer the question.
Very maybe.
What if they cheated multiple times?
No.
Oh.
Not once, but like 2 or 3 times out of like 6, 7 relationships.
Cheeto will cheat.
If they've
It
Cheater
depends
will
on the ratio.
Is the
Is that
ratio?
what you're saying?
Ratio?
Is that what it
If
is?
they cheated 4 out of 6 times, no.
Then you want to be with them?
Huh?
If you want to be with them?
I think for me,
No, I don't
it,
think I would.
it depends on how you are now and if your actions actually hold the weight
Mm.
of what you need. Because I do believe that people deserve second chances, but there's a line to that.
But now, like, if it's multiple times, it's like 3, 4 chances. 5
Brother,
chances.
that's like the 10 chances you're giving them.
Okay, yeah, I'm thinking of this.
Or someone
too.
else has given them.
I'm thinking of this too.
Like the past versus now. Is that the second
Yeah.
chance is the now?
Yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, I would try, but I would be very wary.
Right.
Because I'm an insecure little ball.
Aw.
It happens.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
happens.
Shit happens.
It happens.
But-
like, I would be insecure, like, oh, is he gonna... Honestly, I would be paranoid.
That's the thing. I think when it comes to that, like logically speaking,
Right.
if you trust this person, if you feel like, and if you want to be with them, again, I feel like if it's meant to happen, it's meant to happen. You're going to figure it out. But that's going to take a lot of time, commitment, reassurance, and actually showing that you're capable of changing and not going back to those old ways.
Yes.
It's all about actions in that sense and actually carrying your weight and not minding the fact that when it comes with your past, there's going to be insecurities and things that you are going to have to deal with because being a cheater is like fuck
you're,
the fucked up or fucked up.
it's like you're taking responsibility of your action then by helping your partner to get through, like reassuring your partner now.
Right.
Because like what you did in the past may or may not reflect you now. That's the thing. Like they don't know about that, so you have to reassure them that, oh, me cheating in the past is not what I would do now with you.
Yeah, it doesn't define me.
It doesn't define me
se.
anymore. That's
Maybe
not
just
who
like
I am.
mistakes you've made in the
Yes,
past. and
that's
you kinda
mistakes
go
I made in the past, but it's not who I am as a person. Like I'm not a cheater,
Right.
something like that.
So once a cheater, always a cheater is not true.
Honestly, because I hate all men, you know, like once a cheater, always a cheater. Honestly, I hate all people who cheat, except for on tests.
But do you think it's true?
I don't think so.
No, like if they want to change,
Mhm.
Then
they will. But like a lot of people, they would a lot. This word comes up a lot too. Familiarity. They would find that familiar way. A lot of with like communication style, I guess, avoiding the problem. They just finding other ways to relieve it instead of like facing that problem of like, oh, I'm not happy in this marriage, instead of getting a divorce, cheat.
Yeah, and like especially like if you don't want to leave your child, like stuff like that, you
That's
kind of
right.
like have an affair or something. You know,
I
that's
think
why that happens.
You can make it work. It's just that there's a lot of things you need to prove within that
Yeah.
to like not necessarily offset it, but like just literally again prove that you've changed
That
and you're
you
not gonna
can
do
do
that
it
shit again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
That's
one of the
important.
triggers.
I think that's really important.
Do you think it's ever justified?
In what way? Oh,
So I guess like I want to add to that. If it's justified, like, do you think it's valid if someone cheats because their partner cheated on them, so they're like kind of cheating back?
no,
Yeah, so
No.
like you cheat on me, so I'm gonna cheat on you.
no.
It's like
I don't think it justifies it.
fighting fire with fire.
I think at that point, like, why not just end the relationship?
Right. I'm like,
Like, if
what?
you already,
Right. If you're already.
yeah, just if you're already like at that point, you might as well just end everything and just off to the next. Like, put your energy more into something real. You know, like now you're just being petty, right? Because I feel like, as an adult, a mature person, like if you get cheated on, okay, like, just let them know, like, hey, I know, and blah blah, and then just leave. You know.
I think for me, success is the best revenge. I will not fight fire with fire. And also, I would not put oil into fire.
Yeah.
And, like, if I were to revenge them by cheating on with someone else because they cheated on me, how am I different from them?
I'd rather
Right.
just do revenge by, like, just doing better for myself.
Right.
That put myself in a better situation.
Because I'm not different from that cheater who did me dirty as well, you know? Like, that's not... It's not gonna prove that I'm better or anything, so...
You're gonna stoop to their level?
Yes, I cannot stoop that low.
Oh.
How could I stoop that low? If I'm this tall. Anyways.
So, damn.
So,
Ask Quake, got any questions for the girlies about relationships? And
Yes.
That talking to us?
I mean, I guess something that popped in my mind is like, would you be with someone that has a criminal record?
oh, what kind of crime? Because I would never do pedophile.
I don't want to be Ash Trevino, okay? I'll
Okay,
leave
we're
it at
not
that.
fucking Ash Trevino.
There's a parking ticket, or I don't know, like
I
a
don't.
criminal record. Like,
Parking
I
ticket.
I want to know what's the line. Maybe they've shoplifted, or
That's fine.
you know, they
Like
were
parking ticket
doing
shit.
illegal drugs before.
That's like not even a misdemeanor. It's just a violation.
Okay. Bank robbery. They served time, but it's been years, and they got out of jail while
I
back.
think again, if it's dead ass. Not to compare it to cheating, but I feel like along the same lines,
Oh, they won't do it again.
if they've proven that they've changed, it's gonna
Familiarity.
take a lot of work. But if they've proven that they changed and they are willing, like if they understand from the get go, it's not gonna be easy to like make it work. But if they wanted to make it work, they will, because with that criminal record labeled to them, I feel like it makes it hard for them to unfortunately like get a job,
get
like
housing, get
everything.
everything.
Like build a life out of prison.
Mm.
I think again, if they're willing
To change.
to change and understand it's not going to be easy, then it's fine. But personally speaking, like I wouldn't seek that out. I ain't no Ash Trevino. Like that shit's crazy.
Who's Ash Trevino?
Oh
my
my god!
Is that like a social media thing?
Yes.
I'm sending you a video later.
Okay, we'll send you like YouTube shorts.
I guess another topic I want to talk about in another podcast is like this idea of people that get out of prison and always end up like the system is made for them to go back into prison.
Oh, we got a lot of things to say
Yeah.
for that girl.
But that's like a whole different.
But then,
Yes.
okay, back to relationships. Any other relationship questions?
But, like
Because
from the boys to the girls.
Yes, from the boy to the girl.
When it comes to cheating, like, what are like some forms of cheating that you can kind of like tolerate? Yeah.
What?
I want to know the line, like, cause I know.
What are different?
I know, like,
kinds
let's
of
say it's a
cheating?
long-term relationship.
Micro cheating,
You know,
I guess.
micro
Not
cheating.
micro
Fuck is
cheating.
micro cheating.
You know, like cheating through text. Like,
Wait,
I feel like the
wait,
end of
check
it is
out
like
other
cheating
girls.
is like they're actually with that person, like they slept with them. I think that's like full on, just like 100% cheating. But I feel like, what if they're texting? They never even met in person.
Mentally
or-
cheating or like physical.
I don't
cheating?
like mentally
Yeah,
cheating.
yeah.
If that's still cheating to me. That's just as bad.
Mm.
I think if they accidentally kiss someone drunk, holy fucking shit, what the fuck? But it happens. If it's like that.
Yeah.
What if they genuinely thought that that girl was you?
Wait, what
Are you saying I look like every other bitch then? The fuck?
Sounds
No,
like every other bitch.
Like, let's say like there's a short Filipino girl, right? And he's drunk. Yeah, but like he thinks it's you. And
Girl,
like,
her
he's
voice
like,
would wake him the fuck up.
no, it never happened to me. I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, like, what if that's the situation? Like, oh, they genuinely thought it was you.
Then
What
Like-
K-dramas?
then like yeah,
that
it's fucked up,
Is it
but
just-
it happens.
What if like?
But like, is that something you'd leave him over? Like, you know, like, let's say like you dated this guy for like years.
I
and,
wouldn't
like,
leave him over. I had a very serious conversation.
What was
Right.
the makeout sesh?
Whoa!
I mean, like a peck, like one is
No,
fine,
yeah.
but like a whole mixed up, no.
A minute.
But she looks like a doppelganger.
Oh.
Like not like when he's drunk, right? When he's drunk, like it's like a blurry vision, and like she has like the same, acid like
What if
traits.
they
that
had
you have.
Oreos?
Oh, then
Oh,
that's
that's
what.
too far.
That's
I feel like that's too far. Yeah, but I feel like I'm
is
talking about
way,
like kissing
way
or
too
making
far.
out or something.
Wait, they
like,
don't know what
I think
Oreos mean.
peck
That's fine.
peck is fine.
Peck is fine, but like not
Anything else, nah.
making
bruh.
out, it's a bit.
That's
much.
crazy. That's crazy work for real.
Oh, excuse
No,
me.
I get it. Yeah, I feel like even being drunk for me is not an excuse to cheat, or like even if you
Right.
made out, like you put yourself in that situation, right? Now you kind of have to like.
You'll have to own up for it.
Yeah,
you have to own up
exactly.
for
So
it.
I don't think being drunk is an excuse, right? Like no one
Yeah.
forced you to drink, and then
Yeah.
you ended up doing that. Then that's kind of your own fault, sober or not.
I feel like
Yeah.
not that every type of cheating is okay, but like if accidents happens, if you take responsibility for it,
Yeah.
I think we're chilling.
Yeah. I feel like we'd all appreciate it more if our partner had told us too, like instead of us finding out, like oh,
Exactly. Like
you know,
need
they
to
generally
be,
feel bad about it when they actually bring it up to you instead.
like be upfront.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
be.
What if
Rather
you
than hiding
don't
it.
remember it at all, and then you find out through your friends?
Mm.
Like they're like blacked out drunk, and it just like mwah.
It's just no way to prove that though, like I feel like anyone could say like, oh, I just blacked out. I had no idea that happened.
Mm.
Yeah, anyone, that's just like words. But either way, like you still put yourself in that situation where that was the end result. So
Dang. Okay.
Mhm.
I think that still comes in the sense of owning up for it.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think?
What you think, girl?
Yeah, girl.
Yes, girl.
If you were drunk and you kissed another girl because you thought that we were the same person,
He don't drink, but
Well, like,
theory, yeah.
how far did you go?
Like we made out.
For how long?
A minute.
A minute, there you go, a minute, yeah.
Yeah,
A minute?
Yeah.
A minute.
And I even called her by her name.
Oh, brother.
Because that's how much like I thought that.
It was you.
Yeah.
He thought it was really you.
Did
bro.
you touch her?
In what way? What kind of touching?
You know.
I don't want to go too into it, but like.
Did you do this
Hold on,
to her?
chat. Chill, relax, guys. But yeah, like I mean, I guess if you want to say it's me, yeah, I'm just saying in general. But yeah, I guess like if it's me, if that happened, yeah.
You would have to get tested.
Word.
Period.
Yes.
Word.
Importante.
But then a lot of it doesn't go through kissing.
But that will never happen because first of all, I don't even drink.
It is possible. Yeah, just to be safe. Yeah.
But
Maybe
any
you
other
are.
topics that you
What are your
have
guys'
something-
red flags?
I thought we just went over that.
Yeah, we talked about.
No,
No,
like
it's
your red
communication.
flag in a relationship.
Did we talk about it in the beginning?
Huh? No,
Like personal red flags,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's for them to know.
Oh, you don't want to put that out there?
Personal red flags? That's in like my red flag?
Yeah.
That
In a
could be
relationship.
different.
Right. You want it to be different? Because I can just say, yeah, I don't care.
I mean, if you guys said it already, then.
I mean, for me, my own red flag is I'm a little bit selfish.
Okay. Yeah, we can go over red flags. Selfish. Like in what way? Like, can you go in depth in that?
In what way? In like, I always said like, I would do something to make it for me to get less hurt, and maybe that person's also get less hurt, but then I would accidentally hurt that person first.
Oh yeah,
Instead
it's kind of
me
like
getting- it's like
you know,
protective
protect
mechanism.
yourself.
Yes.
You know. No, I get that. Like, I feel like I'm like that too.
I think.
But not anymore.
Not
I mean,
anymore.
like I don't have
Back
that
then.
mindset. But back then, when like my dating days, like I would rather back then, like I would rather hurt the other person than hurt myself. Because I mean, like I don't want to like.
No, it hurt. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's mostly anyone.
Yeah, I did it
Yeah.
from this past experience. I don't want to get
Yeah.
broken up with again.
Yeah.
So it's just like that feeling wasn't nice, especially it's like you get blind.
Yeah, blinded by love.
Yeah, no, you get like blindsided.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's how stubborn I am.
And you can't keep a secret.
That too.
Brother.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
No, but she's proven that she has been able to keep secrets. Well, I'm still talking about back then.
Huh?
I was just talking about back then.
Oh, back then, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm too stubborn, and sometimes I don't know when to stop. So when I know, like, I should leave, so it's better, but I don't want to, because again, I'm selfish too in many ways. That's where problems come up. I'll leave it at that.
How about you?
What's your
What do you think it is?
Oh, that's a good question because these two are together.
Yeah.
I want to hear from you. We were sharing.
Oh, my personal life?
Yeah, personally, what do you think?
It could be like, just anything. The red flags. Yeah. It doesn't have to be about us particular, but just like your red flags. Or are we talking about like that we used to have or that we have right now?
I mean, whatever.
Okay.
I mean,
One or the other.
one or the other. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This is also reflective and it's also like, whatever.
Self-reflection.
I never told you this.
What? I'm listening.
Sometimes I revert to my old ways and avoid confrontation because I'm like, is it even worth bringing up in the first place? Because it makes me uncomfortable. So if I can avoid it, then I would. But if it's something that's bothering me and I know that if I don't bring it up, it's going to build resentment, then I'll bring it up.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
Fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's human of you to do.
I feel like it's like, is it worth my time? Let's say you wait it out. For me, I would honestly kind of do that too. Is it worth my time to mention it, or like?
Are you wasting your breath?
Yeah, like if I just keep yapping, are they gonna change, or are they just gonna say the same?
Yeah.
And I guess like, okay, not going to me. From the three of you knowing me, like, what are some red flags you think that I have?
Girl, you said it first.
You go first, then we go.
I already said my
Okay, for me, I feel like my red flag, like, I'm just talking about back then, was being able to detach myself from people.
Detachment.
You know, I feel like
you
I've
can do it
contributed,
like that, huh?
like, to our last topic where, off to the next. I used to have that mindset, so I was like, that was one of my biggest red flags, and like,
How one right now?
one right now.
What do you think?
I can think of one.
What is it?
You're like me in this way. You don't listen.
You kind of don't. You kind of do, but you kind of don't.
Sometimes I have to hear it twice.
3 times 4.
Four
times.
times.
Am I listening to music? Is that why?
That. But if I'm like, oh, I start work at this time, I'll tell you 5 times.
Or I think it's because you have a little horn that goes me me me.
Yeah.
That's when.
It's just going to my ear, going out the ear. It's like,
Yeah.
and then you yell at me, like, okay, yeah, I got it.
I feel like they're similar-ish. You,
How about
and
your
her.
perspective?
Yeah. Of us?
No, of his own red flag.
Oh.
Of me?
Yeah.
No, I just told you the detachment.
No, but something right now.
Something right now.
Right now.
I guess like avoidant. Like there are times where I like to avoid like confrontation. Like sometimes I like to keep for myself. And instead of me communicating like, oh, I need space, like I kind of just don't talk.
Just go. Yeah.
I just go blind. Yeah. But I know that's something that's one of my red flags.
Yes.
Yeah. But I feel like since we're talking about red flags, I feel like since we're self-reflecting, the fact that we're admitting our red flags shows that we're aware and that allows us to grow from it, Because I feel like if you want to change a problem with yourself, you need to acknowledge it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think that's a really good ending to this first podcast. Alright guys, thanks for listening or watching us.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.